States is gearing up for more strikes against Iran and that the memorandum of understanding on a ceasefire is over.
As far as I'm concerned, it's over. I'll speak to our negotiators. They want to negotiate. They're good people. Steve Witkoff, Jared Kushner. But they have to come back to me. As far as I'm concerned, it's just a waste of time dealing with them. They're liars.
The president warning the U.S. is preparing for more airstrikes tonight. Funeral processions have begun for Iran's late supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, in the town of Najaf. Thousands of mourners are there. The president says the U.S. will give license to Ukraine to produce Patriot missile defense systems to help counter Russian attacks. Ukraine has been asking for the right to produce those for some time. All the uncertainty causing oil prices to jump 7%. The Dow has also tumbled 845 points. This is ABC News. They looked like retirees on vacation, but a canine dog wasn't concerned about their ages. He actually sniffed out the truth, says ABC's Jim Ryan.
Riding in their white 2010 Dodge pickup truck and pulling a box trailer, 80-year-old Luke Bader and his 74-year-old wife Susan stopped at the Border Patrol checkpoint near Falfurrias, Texas. A drug-sniffing dog alerted to the presence of drugs, and agents then found 134 packages containing a total of 345 pounds of cocaine in a hidden compartment in the trailer. According to a federal complaint, the Baders admitted to knowing about the drugs and said they were to be paid between $5,000 and $10,000 to deliver the load to Houston. Jim Ryan, ABC News.
Public records show that health insurance companies on the Affordable Care Act marketplace plans said they will raise health premiums again next year by an average of 14%. That's in addition to double-digit increase that happened earlier this year. I'm Sherry Preston, ABC News.
Coming up, we've discovered that there is a 14-year-old who died in a tragic e-bike accident. But first, we're going to check KIRO Newsradio real-time traffic right now. We still have that crash that we've been reporting on for the last hour on U.S. westbound 2. The crash is in the left lane, so you need to move over to the right lane. Also, Linwood to Seattle is very heavy right now. It'll take you about 40 minutes. Otherwise, Auburn to Renton, it's about an hour and 10 minutes right now. Linwood to Bellevue, about 15 minutes. This traffic report is brought to you by D.R. Horton. The D.R. Horton National Red Tag Sales Event starts this Friday, July 10th. Visit drhorton.com. D.R. Horton, America's builder and equal housing opportunity builder.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning. I'm Katrina Gashard. Washington Senate Republicans are formally asking Governor Bob Ferguson to call a special legislative session to lower gas prices across the state. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey has details.
If they get that special session, state Republicans will have to convince a majority of Democrats to temporarily pause the state gas tax, which adds around 60 cents per gallon as part of the state's Climate Commitment Act to reduce carbon emissions. Republican Senator Jeff Wilson.
These are really tough times for just about everybody in the state of Washington when it comes to providing for their families and just getting around with their day-to-day lives.
The move might be an uphill battle as oil prices rose in the wake of President Trump declaring the U.S.-Iran ceasefire over. Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
According to AAA, the average price in our state for a gallon of gas is $5. A 14-year-old boy is dead after what police say was a tragic e-bike accident in Seattle. Investigators say the teen lost control while riding down a steep staircase at Collindale Park, a popular mountain bike course underneath I-5. The teenager lost control and suffered severe injuries to his head and body and died at the scene, according to investigators. E-bikes are no longer considered a bike, but actually a motorcycle in our state. If it is more powerful than 750 watts and can propel a rider more than 28 miles per hour. Just this year, a child on an e-bike was left in critical condition in Kirkland after colliding with a car. And we've got more details on the deadly shooting in Tacoma early this morning.
Officer Shelby Boyd tells us, thankfully, many neighbors do have cameras, and so they are canvassing the neighborhood looking for any video that might be helpful for their investigation. Officer Boyd also pointing out this is the second homicide in Tacoma this week. As for the situation, officers got to the scene. They found a man with gunshot wounds and tried to save his life, but he died there on scene.
In Puyallup, a homicide investigation is underway after a man was found dead inside a home early this morning. Pierce County Sheriff's Office discovered the body of a 35-year-old man with multiple fatal injuries. Detectives say the violence appears to have started inside a bedroom before moving outside the house. No suspect is in custody, and investigators are asking anyone with information to contact the sheriff's office. reality TV fans could see a lot of Seattle this summer.
Why are you here? To meet my wife.
Heartbreak and I'm done with this.
I'm ready for my husband. I'm so ready.
14 local singles will be on season 20 of Peacock's Married at First Sight. It's the show where people marry complete strangers and test whether love can grow after saying I do. The season premieres this Sunday, July 12th. And now for your KIRO News Radio real time, or rather weather. It is much chillier this morning. We do have peaks of sunshine later today, but beware, a few rain drizzles could happen. Right now, it's about 61 in downtown Seattle. I'm Katrina Gashard, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show with G. Scott and Ursula Reutin.
Hey, good morning, everybody. It is the Gee and Ursula Show. I sure appreciate y'all hanging out with us on a daily basis. Means the world. If you're new here, where you been? We've been around here 6.5 years, and you just now showing up. But either way, I'm glad you're here. And for those that have been here since day 1, day 2, or day 7, thank you for also being here. Good morning to you.
I
Ursula.
love that.
Yeah.
And if you only make the Gee and Ursula Show a habit for 2 or 3 of the days of the week, why don't you just make it 5?
Make it 5.
Do we feel like we're begging a little bit?
Yeah.
We just love y'all.
Ain't too proud to beg.
Exactly.
TLC.
Hey, coming up at 9:30, the World Cup's legacy in Seattle. What is that? There are some things that I read actually an article in the Seattle Times talking about all the things that have come about because of the World Cup and Seattle hosting that we haven't even talked about. I wasn't even aware of.
You know what's come up? Watching some of the same people who said Seattle wouldn't be ready, watching them right now. Wow. Well, it went so well for the World Cup. Why don't they continue it?
Well, there you go. Maybe they're coming around.
Ursula,
they're coming around.
I just want to say, the mental gymnastics that be happening, man, your heartbeat, your pulse rate, it got to be soaring so you can get in good shape.
Oh. Hey, do you remember yesterday when I talked about getting the go bag?
Yeah.
For emergencies? Mm-hmm. Well, guess what I got in the mail this morning?
A go bag for emergencies.
Yep.
All right.
Absolutely. So I'm actually going to post a picture because it was really easy and I feel better.
Okay.
And I'm going to have to supplement it, but I feel better about it. But I told you I was going to do it after 6 years of talking about this.
Yeah.
I finally have one and I feel better about it. Text line, Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line is 888-973-5476, 888-973 KIRO.
Time to cook. Ursula's top stories of the day brought to you by Pendergast Law.
Washington high school seniors may soon have to prove they can do more than just pass a test or write an essay before they graduate. State Superintendent Chris Rakedahl is proposing a new mandatory year-long class aimed at teaching students the practical life skills that they're going to need before they leave high school. This proposed post-secondary launch course would cover things like building a resume, registering to vote, applying for jobs, applying to college or career training, understanding financial aid, even considering military service. Chris Rakedahl says too many students are leaving the K-12 system without consistent access to the tools they need to be independent, and they may be taking on student loans or credit card debt without understanding the consequences. For example, they may not know what belongs on a resume. So the class would count toward existing graduation requirements, giving students a half credit in financial literacy and post-secondary readiness and a half credit in civics. This would not happen immediately. Rakedahl plans to take the proposal to lawmakers in 2027. If approved, it would take effect in the 2030-31 school year. Now, what do you think?
I love this. I think it's amazing. But there's a problem.
What?
People in corporations and institutions that have more power than me, they won't like it. Banks won't like this. Credit card companies won't like this. Payday loan establishments won't like this. There's no way in the world that people want young men and women coming out of high school understanding credit card debt, understanding what student loans can do to you. Understand? They don't want that. They want you to pull up to the payday loan and for those predatory interest rates to slap on you.
That is bleak, G. That is bleak. I think there are some people, absolutely, the ones, the loan sharks don't want you to do it. They don't want you. But to say that there are like a majority of people or enough people to not make something like this happen, I mean, this makes sense.
Hey, wait. You know we get on this show every day.
Yes.
Are we really talking about things that make sense?
Yes.
Because you know that don't hold water.
Yes. Well, even though the reality is, even if you teach students and make this a requirement, that doesn't mean that they're still not going to get into debt. But at least they have a fighting chance if they're not getting that education from home. Because I think the biggest criticism, a couple of things, but one will be, well, why are we making this a requirement in school? Why aren't parents teaching that?
Oh, boy, here we go with that.
Okay, well, and
I just had this conversation last night with my son. Baby G was at the house. I know, contrary to the people, like, oh, my gosh, G didn't go to his son's wedding. He's still my son. Some people.
And you're still talking.
He's still talking. Oh, my goodness. Okay, but when he was at the house, I'm his parent.
Yes.
I didn't have an understanding about money. So I'm telling him last night, like, man, I didn't know. But to see where he is today, consider we talk about money a lot. Mm-hmm. So my point is, there are parents that don't know. A lot of us, anybody back in the day go to a college campus and get that credit card debt? Anybody right now have student loan debt right now that people don't want you to have relief on that? You got that? Anybody? How about the penny CDs? Anybody do that back in the day, the penny CDs? Mm-hmm. There's a lot of stuff that we parents didn't know. So I believe if they allow something like this, I'm not saying it's going to be perfect,
no,
but it would decrease credit card debt. It would decrease student loan debt. And the powers that be don't want that, Ursula. There is a premium on taking advantage of people that don't know. That is a premium on that. They want the person to walk in and get the car loan and pay 19% interest rate.
But there's also a premium when you have people who are always living on the edge or always living on borrowed money or borrowed time. You know, there is I understand what you're saying, but I'm curious. I mean, I would love to hear from you listening right now. Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line, 888-973-5476, 888-973 KIRO. Do you think this would pass in the state of Washington?
Nope.
You don't think it's going to happen?
Just like my main man, John Lovett, my senator, he put out a very simple common sense. And he said, hey, let's lower the BAC to 0.05 because we want to decrease fatalities on the road because of drunk driving. And you know that dang on thing keeps failing. Why? Why do I think keep failing? Because there's people or businesses or hospitality that want you to keep drinking.
Okay, so I'm gonna go on this one.
Okay.
Because I think that I totally understand what you're saying,
okay.
And I don't think, but this one we're talking about, so what is the drawback? For me, one of the things that stands out, and I want to ask, we're going to have State School Superintendent Chris Rakedahl join us at 10 o'clock. My one hesitation is the military piece. Schools would need to be, in my opinion, very careful that this class does not become like a recruiting pipeline. My opinion, again, and saying this is life skills. I mean, I think you need to teach students about trade school, college, apprenticeships, work service programs, et cetera. And yes, bring up that military is also one possible path. But I think that there would be a lot of people who would be bristling at the idea of that being pushed on students. So I think that would be one.
Well, guess what?
What's that?
Your co-host over here would get in trouble. You want to know why? Because I don't think military is a bad idea. Look here.
It's not a bad idea.
No, but, hey, look here.
For some, it's a great idea. For some, it's like the best possible option.
Look, you go in at 18. You can go ahead and do your quick 20. You come out that thing at 38. 38 years old, bam, you got that retirement right there. You go get you another job, and then you can get the school paid for. Then you can get your nice little smaller percent on your home loan. Oh, wait.
Okay, text us, Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line 888-973-5476, 888-973 KIRO. Well, you know, Washington's new millionaire's tax may not take effect until 2028, but it already appears to be shaking up the luxury housing market, G. So there's this new report from Realogic Sotheby's that says pending sales for homes priced between $5 and $20 million in this region surged in June. Inventory is up as well, with more high-end homeowners apparently looking at whether it makes sense to keep Washington as their primary residence. And this fight, as you know, is headed straight for voters. Backers of that initiative to repeal the millionaire's tax have turned in more than 500,000 signatures. That's a lot more than what is needed to qualify, but it still needs to be certified. But some brokers are telling King 5 News that wealthy sellers are getting creative. They may claim another state as their primary residence for tax purposes, but they still keep a foothold here with a smaller waterfront property or a lock and leave condo, for example. But the other headline that I saw in the Seattle Times is that, the market for those luxury homes is not exactly collapsing. A Texas oil billionaire is now tied to a $28 million Mercer Island mansion purchase. It's one of the biggest residential sales in King County this year. Yeah. And again, luxury brokers say demand is still very strong.
Yeah, that median home price in King County is still up there. Median home price in Seattle is still up there. You know what, Ursula? Everybody be fighting, talking about this millionaire's tax and everything like that. You know what I want to see next after the whole millionaire's tax? Because I know there's a bunch of millionaires walking around here and they want to fight for that. You know what I want, Ursula? I would love to see people fight for the tax of the bottom 20% in this state. And what I mean by that is, as you all know, the state of Washington, we're pretty upside down when it comes to the tax system. If you're in the bottom 20%, the working class folks, the folks working double time and all that time, working 2 and 3 jobs, you pay almost 18% of your income in state and local taxes. The richest people in this state pay 3% of their income. So if we get, I know I'm not going to get into income tax, but I just want to say this. A bag of groceries costs the billionaire the same exact that it costs the bottom 20% in this country. in this state. So I just hope, Ursula, at some point that we have a fight for the bottom 20% that are paying 18% of their income towards taxes. Mm-hmm. You think that'll ever happen?
I think the same people who are fighting for them now will be the same people fighting for them later. But the real challenge with this new millionaire's tax, G, is that supporters are saying it only affects a tiny slice of the population, less than 0.5%. And again, the money is supposed to help make our system of taxes less punishing for those folks who you're talking about. Exactly. But do you find it strange that opponents do not just come from one political lane, that it's conservatives and many non-conservatives who are opposing this on principle? Mm-hmm. And there are business owners who are worried that this is going to hurt Washington's competitive edge, for example. Right. And there are plenty of voters who don't make $1 million but still don't trust Olympia to stop at millionaires. And I mean, that's the camp that I'm in. Sure. Which is why I don't think that it survives.
Sure. Look, right or wrong, conservative or liberal, whatever the case might be, I'm just waiting for the fight, for those to fight for the bottom 20% in this state. The 20% that pay 18% of their income towards taxes, when the top 5% pay 3% towards their tax. I want to see that happen, Ursula.
Yeah.
But prove me wrong.
I hear you. Okay, President Trump is now warning that the U.S. may launch more strikes against Iran tonight in a war that has now dragged on for more than 4 months. Mm-hmm. There was a ceasefire, but the president says,
as far as I'm concerned, it's over. I'll speak to our negotiators. They want to negotiate. They're good people. Steve Witkoff, Jared Kushner. But they have to come back to me. As far as I'm concerned, it's just a waste of time dealing with them. They're liars.
So, this war began on February 28th when the U.S. and Israel launched major strikes inside Iran. Since then, the cost has escalated. Pentagon telling Congress the war had already cost $29 billion by May, and outside estimates are putting the real price tag closer to $40 to $50 billion. And, of course, the human cost is also growing. At least 15 U.S. deaths with hundreds more injured. Across the region, thousands have been killed and millions displaced. And now the fight is once again centered on the Strait of Hormuz, where Iran is accused of attacking commercial ships, and the U.S. has now hit more than 80 Iranian targets in response.
Yeah, this is a conflict of ego. We will remain in this conflict, I believe, unfortunately, until they are able to beat or outdo the agreement that was signed with President Obama in 2015. And in 2018, President Trump pulled the U.S. out of that deal. He said he didn't like that deal. He said it was too weak. He said it didn't cover their missiles. It expired too soon. So he slapped the sanctions back on in 2018. And here we are today, right now. The Strait of Hormuz was open before this conflict. Now we got price problems, and now the potential, Ursula, of those gas prices are going to be going back up.
Yeah, crude oil spiked about 5% to around $78 a barrel after President Trump made that announcement. The stock market is reacting today. The Dow right now is down close to 700 points. S&P 500 is down by nearly 50. NASDAQ is down by 125. Man, it's just like, when is this thing going to end?
Did he call somebody a liar?
Yes.
That was interesting.
Iran. Iran. So I'm curious, Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line, 888-973-5476, 888-973 KIRO. Your thoughts as we hear now that the ceasefire may be over, that there are more attacks. Now we're seeing, again, impact on the economy. Gas prices have not caught up yet with the news of the day, because AAA shows the national average for regular is about $3.79 a gallon. Again, that's down from a week ago. That's national, but it's going to be going up.
Yeah. I think this is just a conflict of ego, Ursula, and it's really unfortunate because even before this conflict, people in America, the working class, have been struggling financially. One of the biggest reasons why he was voted into office, because they believed that there would be some relief in the economy. And now we are seeing, and I mean, whatever about the stock market, I mean, that thing been going very well for the last few months. Mm-hmm. And so now it's taking a dip. But whether it goes up or goes down, it does that only matters for people that have stock portfolios.
Right.
The gas prices, the groceries, mm-hmm. the energy, that cost continues to rise. Airplane tickets, I don't know if y'all have y'all checked the airplane tickets lately. Like them things ain't going down. Like even when there was potential relief.
Yeah, the airline executives are like, we're going to keep it.
It reminds me of back, I remember I told you about this, Ursula, we mentioned this back in the 2008 when it was time for the bags. They started to charge a little bit for the bags to fly. And now to this day, you get charged for bags. The fees never went away.
Yeah. It's rare, although I did just hear Walmart is lowering some prices, but it's rare that you hear a company say, okay, I'm going to bring down some prices.
You know what I'm looking forward to Walmart doing? Hey, Walmart, I'm looking forward to looking y'all up and not seeing anybody working for Walmart being subsidized by taxpayer money. Because of food assistance and those things. That's what Walmart can do for me. I just, Ursula, I just want to tell you.
We're trying to choose joy.
Wait, I'm smiling.
I know.
I'm smiling. I'm in a great mood today. All right, good stuff, Ursula. Coming up at 9:47, there's an alarming new trend dominating youth sports. We'll talk about that at 9:47. And up next at 9:30, the World Cup's legacy. What do you think that is? Ursula wants to talk about some of the things that have come from the World Cup, and I can't wait because I don't even know what she's going to tell us. We'll do that next. Gee Ursula.
KIRO Newsradio, the first place you turn for the news you trust.
State Senator Jamie Peterson drafted one of the state's most progressive taxes to date, the income tax on millionaires.
Engaging conversation.
We pay teachers the fourth highest of any state in the country.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
The Seahawks, they're bringing it home again.
Streaming everywhere on the KIRO Newsradio app. Always here, always with you. KIRO Newsradio, 97.3 FM.
For the ones who get it done, Grainger offers the professional-grade products you need to get the job done. With fast delivery you can depend on and access to technical product experts ready to help you meet any challenge. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
ZipRecruiter.
Check engine or ABS light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-330-8323 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-330-8323. That's 800-330-8323. What do you have to lose? Call 800-330-8323. Again, 800-330-8323.
Did you know that nearly half the homes in Western Washington are not properly insulated or not insulated at all? That may be the reason why your home is way too hot in the summer and way too cold in the winter. It may also be the reason that your energy bills are sky high. Right now, Insulation Northwest is offering a free inspection of your home's insulation. This is a $199 value and it's absolutely free, no obligation. Just call today and Insulation Northwest will arrange a time that works with your schedule. We'll perform a thorough exam of your home's insulation and give you the advice you need to start saving thousands. Everyone who calls today will also receive a free infrared screening of your home using the latest technology. This will help reveal any hidden flaws in your home's protective energy blanket. What do you have to lose? It only takes about an hour and it's absolutely free. Call Insulation Northwest today, the real insulation company.
InsulationNorthwest.com.
A perfect game by a Seattle Mariner. It was done by the King.
50 seasons. 50 legends, one unforgettable night. Join the Mariners Saturday, August 8th for 50 season celebration night at T-Mobile Park, presented by Daktronics.
The Mariners are going to play for the American League Championship.
Before the team takes on the Rays, arrive early for the most epic pregame ceremony in Mariners history. You'll witness the biggest gathering of franchise icons ever assembled as the 50 greatest Mariners from across all 5 decades are revealed. From Griffey to the Big Unit, from Ichiro to Nelson Cruz, and every legend in between, you don't want to miss this once-in-a-lifetime event.
Junior with a 2-run home run. Everybody is going bonkers here in the Kingdom.
Seats are going fast. Get yours at mariners.com/tickets.
My, oh my!
Experience the thrill of seeing orcas and humpback whales with Puget Sound Express. Join their family-run tours for guaranteed whale sightings departing daily from Edmonds. These are Seattle's most popular and well-reviewed whale tours. Book now at PugetSoundExpress.com. Life doesn't have to slow you down just because costs are up. At Subaru of Puyallup, fuel-efficient models help you go farther with the confidence of all-wheel drive. And you have to experience the newly redesigned Subaru Outback with bold styling, advanced safety, an upgraded touchscreen, and even more capability. For stress-free pricing, a huge selection, and current offers, stop by Subaru of Puyallup, your stress-free dealership. Part of the Harnish Auto family. Visit SubaruofPuyallup.com.
Summer's supposed to be fun. When the kids are home all day, the groceries, they add up fast. G. Scott here with a quick heads up from Safeway. There's a program called Sunbucks that gives qualifying families $120 per child for summer groceries. Some families are signed up automatically and will get a card in the mail. Others need to apply. Take a minute to check. It could really help put food on the table for your family. Head to freesummermeals.org to find out more. That's freesummermeals.org.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning. I'm Katrina Gashard. The heat wave that's been going on in parts of Europe has led to deadly wildfires. ABC's Maggie Ruley has more.
Record wildfires raging across southern Europe, burning more than double the seasonal average. Parts of France topping 100 degrees again as the third heat wave of the summer is bringing devastatingly high temps across the region. 850 firefighters from around the country now battling flames in the hardest hit areas. One volunteer killed.
Here in Washington, recovery efforts continue in Douglas County after the deadly Chelan Hills fire destroyed 19 homes and scorched nearly 10,000 acres. KIRO 7 TV's Jack Bilyeu spoke with a couple while the flames were closing in on their house.
Madison and Owen Joga just moved into their dream home 5 weeks ago. They described it as an oasis and the perfect place to raise their young son. In fact, days after move-in, they learned another baby is on the way.
And it was peace and it was quiet and it was wonderful and it was ours, and now it's just black scorched earth and there's absolutely nothing standing on it.
Their dream home is now gone, burned literally to the ground, and now they're trying to figure out what to do next and rebuild their life with only what they could fit in their cars during a hectic evacuation.
The fire is now 50% contained. A memorial continues to go in Cedro-Woolley after a 19-year-old woman was killed in a 4th of July DUI hit and run. KIRO 7 TV's Nia Bliss reports.
Noah Morrow says he was one of the first to try to save Anahi Mendoza immediately after she was hit by a driver.
It is devastating. It truly is, for her family, for her friends, for everybody who knew her.
Her uncle explaining the 19-year-old woman from Whatcom County had been selling fireworks to fund a cross-country trip to Florida. When police say a speeding driver hit and killed her around 2 o'clock in the afternoon on Independence Day.
The suspect was booked into jail for vehicular homicide, DUI, and driving without a suspended license. Cash App's parent company, Block, will pay millions to resolve investigations by Washington and other states. Attorney General Nick Brown says Block will pay $20 million over its handling of fraudulent unemployment payments during the COVID pandemic. Washington will also receive nearly $1.8 million from a separate multi-state settlement, alleging Cash App failed to adequately protect users from fraud. Block has agreed to expand customer support and improve fraud prevention. Washington could soon require financial literacy for every graduating senior. State Superintendent Chris Reichdahl is proposing a new senior year course that would teach students things about loans, credit, financial aid, and other money-related topics. Reichdahl will be live on Gee and Ursula at 10. And now to your KIRO News Radio real-time traffic. That accident on westbound US 2 has finally cleared. Traffic, though, is building on northbound I-5 from Federal Way into downtown Seattle. The drive will take you about 35 minutes. Southbound I-405 from Linwood to Bellevue is about a half an hour, while westbound SR 520 into Seattle is moving steady at around 15 minutes. This traffic report is brought to you by KIRO News Radio. And for your forecast on this Wednesday, we've got some clouds and a few sprinkles this morning. Highs today will be in the low 70s. Right now, it's about 62 in downtown Seattle. I'm Katrina Gashard, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
to the Gee and Ursula Show. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line 888-973-5476, 888-973 KIRO. Coming up at 9:47, you've heard about redshirting your kindergartner, but now parents are redshirting their 8th graders, and the reason why is sports, an advantage in sports. So we're going to have you weigh in on that one. Again, 888-973-5476. But right now, let's talk about the World Cup and the legacy. Seattle's time as a host city is coming to an end, but organizers say the legacy is supposed to last a lot longer than the tournament. And we know, we've talked about it, the games brought in huge crowds, packed transit, filled up restaurants, got a lot of international attention, lots of love, but organizers say the bigger win is what actually stays behind. And this part is what I was not aware of, Gee. I saw it in the Seattle Times. And did you know that there are 52 new soccer fields that have been built across the state with help from the Rave Foundation? Seattle's World Cup Organizing Committee directly supported 15 of them, including fields at Chief Leshai schools and Lummi Nation schools. Did not know that. There's also a new street soccer park in Tacoma designed so that it can be used for blind soccer training. And so this region is now being pushed as a regional hub for that sport. Organizers also point to a new public art, a Soto Welcome Center, which is a map highlighting nearly 170 local businesses and cultural spots, and a workforce development program for event and service workers.
Yeah.
And public safety leaders say the lack of major trouble during the tournament and during the days that we hosted did not happen by accident. King County Sheriff Patty Cole-Tyndall credits strong planning and coordination and cooperation from the community.
Appreciate the community doing what they did during FIFA. We got through that major world-class event without any serious issues.
And listen to Jose Marenco, who leads the Sheriff's Department's Special Ops. He spoke with KIRO 7 TV.
No, there wasn't really a whole lot going on. It seemed pretty tame. People were in really good spirits. People were having fun. I believe people felt safe, and that allowed people to just be themselves.
And you obviously were closely connected to what was going on here as the MC. Mm-hmm. I just wasn't aware of all these other benefits. I mean, I know that it brought in business and puts Seattle on the map and could make it, basically we were able to prove that we can do something and pull off something like this. But I didn't know about these other things that are really going to last longer than the tournament.
Yeah, I didn't know either. And so I'm glad you brought it up. Ursula, I'm going to go into the weeds here for a second. Is there anybody listening right now, or maybe you, Ursula, that you are in a relationship or a marriage or something that many people on the outside didn't believe you'd make it? Are you if you're husband and wife, or if you're boyfriend, girlfriend, you've been in a relationship for a long time, maybe you had parents, maybe you had relatives, maybe you had close friends that just kept saying they wouldn't make it. Mm-hmm. And then all through it, when you were still together after all this time, sometimes people, because they were wrong, they don't want to admit they're wrong. They will justify it by saying, well, they're only still together because he has money. Or they're only still together because she still looks good.
Yeah, still find ways to undercut it.
They still find ways to undercut, like you said, that relationship, instead of just coming out and saying that they're wrong. Mm-hmm. That is the World Cup legacy here in Seattle. The people that spend their time, they actually make money telling the world how awful Seattle is, how terrible Seattle is. There's not enough police. There's too much crime. In June of this year, there were 0 homicides in the city of Seattle. The first time since 1970. Mm-hmm. Do you think those people that want to tell you how terrible Seattle will brag about that? No. The same thing that happened when people judged your relationship, telling you they wouldn't make it, you wouldn't make it, They come with justification as to why you're still making it. Oh, they're still making it because their kid's a straight A student and they're going to college, so that's why they stay together. That sounds ridiculous, but I know I'm hitting a nerve because I know people know what I'm talking about.
206 just texted in and said, so will clean streets be a legacy? I hope so. One of the things that I was thinking about yesterday as I was driving home, because I was hearing more conversation about, hey, it was great while the World Cup and we were hosting the matches here, but already we're going to be seeing, XYZ and the homeless back and et cetera, et cetera.
Where'd it go?
When you have so many people swarming into downtown and Pioneer Square and the waterfront, I mean, a lot of the elements that we bring up are less visible because you've got so many people there. Obviously, it's not going to be the same level. I do hope that the city uses this as a pivotal moment and say, let's build on this momentum. And I think that there are people who are willing to do that. But I think we also have to be realistic.
Okay. We've done this before, Ursula, so much so you know what I'm about to say next, because when people are talking about the clean streets of Seattle and where will the homeless come back?
Yeah.
Well, first of all, where did the homeless go? Okay, but that's
yeah.
Story.
Remember, we had a story about not enough beds.
Sure. Yep. But my question is for the clean streets conversation, or the next time you're at the family get together and somebody's telling you, "Oh, I hope they keep the streets clean." What city in the United States do you compare this to? What streets, what city has all clean streets? Which one? In the United States?
I don't know of one.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, I don't even know of too many, except for extreme. Actually, take that back. When I was in Florida and we went to, I can't remember the town that it was, but it was one of those where mostly millionaires live there. If you got a lot of money and don't have the typical urban issues that happen in big cities, yeah. But you're not comparing apples to apples. I went to Munich, Germany. I saw homeless there. I saw people who were drug addicted there. I saw graffiti there. I saw some garbage on the streets. I mean, some of that is going to happen.
Well, I want to know one thing. How about that McDonald's? My boy Emil just said me. How about that McDonald's? They gonna keep that McDonald's open downtown? Because remember, it was closed. You had to order outside. Ursula, will it allow you to go back in still and keep it open?
I wonder. You know what I love? Robin Puyallup just said the legacy being that FIFA saying Seattle was the most welcoming venue. That is the legacy. I love that. We got to think positive.
We weren't thinking positive on that topic. I thought that nope. Who else on this station advocates for Seattle and being beautiful than you and I do? And you work and live here. Coming up next, alarming new trend dominating youth sports. Next, Gee Ursula.
Wow, Sarah, these window coverings are gorgeous. Did you guys do this yourself?
No way, it's all Hunter Douglas. My local expert came to our home, brought samples, and helped us see everything in our actual light, then measured perfectly and handled the installation.
If you're planning a remodel, moving into a new home, or simply ready to elevate how your space feels, Westco Blinds, your neighborhood Hunter Douglas expert, offers custom, beautifully crafted window treatments thoughtfully designed for life. Whether it's blinds, shades, shutters, or drapes, our products fit your windows perfectly. And with smart home options, you control the light and privacy with a tap or on schedule. Hunter Douglas window treatments are an investment in quality, backed by a lifetime limited warranty and ongoing support from your trusted local expert, Westco Blinds. Call now to schedule your free in-home design consultation. Call 206-285-5455, 206-285-5455, 206-285-5455.
Hi, I'm Marla at Sky Nursery with a heads up that gardening in July has its challenges. Seattle summer drought can cause plants to droop in just a matter of hours, and rabbits and aphids can get a little out of hand in your garden, especially if you have any travel plans this summer. That's where an experienced Sky Gardener can make a difference with down-to-earth and sustainable solutions to all manner of gardening quagmires. After all, you deserve to enjoy a beautiful, thriving summer garden without having to learn the hard way first. We can help. Head to skynursery.com.
Windows are a home's top target for break-ins. At Lake Washington Windows and Doors, we offer added security with our exclusive 3-layer security glass protection. Combined with our lifetime warranty, you'll have lifetime peace of mind. Choose Lake Washington Windows and Doors, a name you can trust.
Stay cool this summer and save big. Lake Washington Windows and Doors delivers the quality, comfort, and energy-saving performance you deserve. During July, buy 3 windows or doors and get 1 free. Plus, make no payments for 12 months. LakeWashingtonWindows.com.
Running a small business means juggling a lot. Your network has to handle it all. That's where a fiber-only provider falls short. You deserve a partner who gives you a greater advantage. Introducing the Total Solutions Advantage only from Comcast Business. A first-ever combination of the largest, fastest fiber-powered network, the most reliable Wi-Fi, gig speeds with equipment and security included, and a 5-year price lock. Plus, it's all backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee. The Total Solutions Advantage only from Comcast Business. A new standard for small business with reliability, security, and savings in one. When you add it all up, no one does business like Comcast Business.
Switch today. Get started for $60 a month for 12 months when you add an advanced solution to a qualifying internet package. Limited time offer. New customers only. Requires 300 megabits per second internet, security edge, and additional qualifying service. 1-year agreement, paperless billing, and autopay with bank account required. Taxes and fees extra. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA Fixed Broadband Experience Report, May 2025.
Hey, when was the last time you inspected your crawl space or your attic? What's the last time you went in there just to see what kind of shape they're in? Oh, never? Yeah, same. I don't want to go in there. Most homeowners completely avoid those areas, but it is important to check on them regularly. It's why you call Crawl Pros. They'll come out and go where you don't want to. Hey, it's Mike Salk here. And yes, when Crawl Pros came out to my place, they realized we had a little problem with our insulation. So they've set about fixing it, and they did a great job. But if you've got the same problem, they'll also look to see what kind of energy rebates are available. Right now, local utility companies are incentivizing homeowners to make their home more energy efficient with proper insulation. And some homes qualify for several $1,000s in savings with these utility rebate programs. So don't just assume your crawl space and attic are in great condition. Do what I did. Call Crawl Pros today and schedule a free corner-to-corner inspection and find out if you've got water intrusion, mold, rodent issues, or even damaged insulation. Schedule your crawl space and attic inspection at crawlpros.com.
Let's say you get into a car accident. You end up getting hurt. You're missing work, and now the insurance company wants you to handle the paperwork yourself while you're still recovering. Here's what happens when you go it alone. They throw out a lowball offer. You're on defense from minute one, and you're scraping for a fair shake against people who do this for a living. But here's what happens when you call Harold Carr Law Offices. They handle everything. The paperwork, the negotiation, the insurance company, all of it. You focus on getting better. They focus on getting you what you actually deserve. And trust me, that number is almost always higher than what you would have walked away with on your own. 7 locations across Western Washington, a huge qualified team, and a free consultation at carlaw.com. Carr is spelled with 2 R's, C-A-R-R. They'll actually listen to you and give you an honest assessment without any pressure. That's carlaw.com. 2 R's in car. Car accident? Call Carr. C-A-R-R. carlaw.com.
Hey, Jake Skorheim here. Buckle up. It's going to be a hot summer. And if you have poor or no insulation in your attic, you could be losing up to 40% of your energy efficiency. Fortunately, Valentine Roofing has you covered. This summer, bundle energy-saving attic insulation with a new roof and save 10%. Plus, with no money down on your project, you don't pay until your project is complete. Call 206 Roofing to save 10% when you bundle a new roof and attic insulation. That's 206 Roofing. And remember, when you see the red Valentine van, you know your home is in good hands.
Hey, good morning, y'all. It is the Gee and Ursula Show. I took me a sip of coffee. I decided to calm down a little bit. I've been a little bit hyped today, I'll admit. Coming up in the 10 o'clock hour, we have a guest coming on to the show. Earlier in the show, we talked about a proposed requirement by the head person for the state of Washington when it comes to schooling. Chris Rakedow will join the show. He'll talk about the new life skills requirement that he would love to have for this state. So he joins us at 10 o'clock.
And I'm hoping that people can text us real quick, 888-973-5476, 888-973 KIRO. First of all, your reaction to this proposal that he has. And second, if you have a question specifically regarding this for the state school superintendent, do it, and we may be able to pose that question.
All right. Okay, let's get you all fired up with this next topic. Would you have your kid redo 8th grade if it gave them a better chance at being successful as an athlete in high school? That's the decision that some parents are making as a new trend amongst parents, especially in the era of NIL. NewJersey.com looked into this trend and found hundreds in the state of New Jersey are now paying for their children to spend an extra year developing their bodies and brands in warehouse gyms and strip mall storefronts. The tactic has spurred a multi-million-dollar cottage industry in a blind spot of the education system, with critics contending profiteers exploit New Jersey's homeschool law and place kids at risk in industrial settings with inconsistent supervision and jury-rigged academics. They claim mass reclassification is creating a system where older players focused on athletics overwhelm younger competition, eroding the balance between academics, development, and opportunity that once defined the scholastic sports. Bill Parisi, owner of Parisi Academy, an unaccredited for-profit program at a factory-turned gym, disagrees with those calling the practice unfair. He says, quote, "People say it's not fair. It's not fair. But what's not fair? It's based on age. If people start kids late in kindergarten, they have an advantage too." Is this like holding your kid back in kindergarten? Ursula, what's your thoughts on this conversation?
No, because for a couple of reasons. One, they're doing it in 8th grade. I think that's a harder transition for the kids. And you're doing it specifically with the idea of sports in mind, because you want to give yourself, your kid, what you think is going to be a competitive advantage, not only just being 1 year more mature, but bigger. I mean, and I would still say that there is such a small percentage of kids who are going to make it to that level that some of these parents are pursuing by holding their kids back, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. Now, redshirting your kindergartner, there's a whole bunch of reasons behind that. And one is, for example, if your kid has a summer birthday, you can either choose to put your kid in as a young 5-year-old or an older, just turned 6-year-old. And they're not already in school where they have to be held back later on, where I think there's also more of a stigma attached to it too. Mm-hmm. No one knows that you put your kid in as a 6-year-old versus a 5-year-old, and you're not holding them back, right? You're just, no one's going to be looking at that and going, teasing your kid because, oh my gosh, you got held back, et cetera, et cetera. Mm-hmm. So I think there's a difference. Mm-hmm. I understand why some people will do it. I'll be honest, the red shirt kindergartner, when we were putting our kid, so Stephen, our oldest, July 24th is his birthday. And we were asked, we actually got a letter from the school saying, if you put him in as a 5-year-old, because we were planning to put him in right after his 5th birthday. And they said, if you put him in as a 5-year-old, he is going to be in the youngest 10% of his class. Mm-hmm. Just want you to know. And basically implying that we would recommend maybe you hold him back. Mm-hmm. And it also didn't help that they had a very full school. Right. So we actually held him and waited until he turned 6. It was the best decision. Right. Best decision. We did not do the same for our June 16th birthday kid. Yeah. He went in and he was always one of the youngest, one of the smallest. I would argue that, it worked out okay, mm-hmm. but he didn't have some of the benefits of being older going in.
Right. Well, I don't care what you do with your child. If you want to hold your child back because you believe they have an opportunity to go get their college paid for, I don't care. But I find something interesting. I find it real interesting that don't nobody fight about little Steve being in 8th grade, being passed on to 9th grade and can't read.
Oh, that needs to be. Yeah.
Like, if y'all gonna be upset about stuff, be upset about that. How in the world is Steve about to graduate high school and can't read? Be upset about that. I don't care if Lois want to hold her daughter back or hold her son back. Ain't my business. Hold him back twice if you want to. It's almost, you know what this reminds me of? It's like gay marriage. Why y'all so upset about two folks that love each other? If you don't want to be a part of a gay marriage, then don't get gay married.
Okay,
I don't understand why people be concerning themselves with stuff.
Because we have a talk show and we're talking about trends, and this is a trend. And the question is this something you agree with? Or is this something that you would consider doing?
Yes! Why not? Yes!
Kevin in Seattle says, redshirting 8th graders, sweeping statement, behind these kids is a mediocre athlete dad living vicariously through their children. Oh. Then there's that.
Oh, man. I'm fulfilling my obligations as a talk show host. I'm really giving my opinion on this topic. I don't care if you hold your child back, but I do care if these kids keep getting passed on and they can't read.
Totally agree with that. But I would say if you are holding your kid back purely on this idea that he could have an NFL career or an NBA career in the future, because those are the more lucrative ones, I would say...
Sorry, Nick. Coming up next, Chris Rakedow, Gee and Ursula.
Progressive presents the Museum of You.
We begin our tour with a unique piece, a relic from the early big screen television era. Remarkable. Next, we find a juicer, which historians believe has only ever been used once. And finally, compact discs from the emo era. A rare find indeed.
Some things should be history, but until then, you could protect what's important to you and save by bundling your auto insurance with a renter's policy from Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Get in the zone, AutoZone. Annie's first oil change wasn't as hard as she thought because she went to AutoZone, where a friendly AutoZoner helped her find the right oil and save on an oil filter. He explained the job and showed her free how-tos on AutoZone.com. When she was done, AutoZone recycled her old oil for free. Get a free oil filter and more during the Celebrate Free event at AutoZone, now through July 27th. Get in the zone, AutoZone. Restrictions apply.
Progressive presents the Museum of You.
We begin our tour with a unique piece, a relic from the early big screen television era. Remarkable. Next, we find a juicer, which historians believe has only ever been used once. And finally, compact discs from the emo era. A rare find indeed.
Some things should be history, but until then, you could protect what's important to you and save by bundling your auto insurance with a renter's policy from Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-583-6681. That's 800-583-6681.
Man, I love this place. I've been surfing here since I was a kid. Now, seeing my grandson out on the water, it means everything to me. Watching him and taking in the blue waves, the sea breeze, the blurry horizon.
If you have geographic atrophy, or GA, subtle changes in vision could mean it's progressing toward irreversible vision loss. Izervay is proven to slow GA progression and could help preserve your vision for longer, so you may keep seeing the world around you. Izervay, or avacincaptad pegol, is an eye injection. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may cause blood in the white of the eye, blurred vision, or a temporary increase in eye pressure. Do not drive or use machinery until vision has recovered after an eye injection or exam. Ask your retina specialist how you can slow your GA with Izervay. To learn more, call 1-855-IZERVAY or go to izervay.com. Paid for by Astellas Pharma.
Insulation rebates from PSC are at historic highs. American Crawl Space and Pest Services gave over $3 million in PSC insulation rebates last year. More than any contractor in Washington. Homeowners, business owners, and PSC trust American Crawl Space and Pest Services. Was your home built before 1990? Visit AmericanCrawl.com to see how much you can save on replacing your insulation.
American Crawl, the heroes you call.
Guys, your testosterone level impacts your energy, drive, weight, hair loss, and even ED. Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your T level for free. For your free T level check, exam, and consultation, call 206-529-1111 or visit revivemenshealth.com.
KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. After wrapping up at the NATO summit in Turkey, President Trump, flanked by Secretary of State Marco Rubio and Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent, called the summit successful. Earlier, the president told reporters that the memo of understanding is over due to Iran's strikes on vessels in the Strait of Hormuz and said the U.S. responded with strikes.
We attacked Cargo Island last night. We knocked out a piece. I said, don't touch the oil because maybe we'll take over Cargo Island. We may take over Cargo Island. There's not a thing they can do about it.
The president also signaling the U.S. may carry out more strikes against Iranian targets. A federal appeals court in Washington ruling it will not set aside a lower court's order that ordered President Trump's name be removed from the Kennedy Center exterior. Emmy nominations are out. The series Hacks setting the record for the most nominations in a single year in the comedy category with 24, and The Pit leading this year's drama category with 25 nominations. This is ABC News. Nurses at one of the prestigious hospitals in the country on the picket lines. Here's ABC's Dave Packer.
4,000 nurses at Brigham and Women's Hospital in Boston walking off the job this morning. They're demanding bigger raises and more affordable health insurance. In a statement, the hospital says it's fully prepared to continue providing high-quality patient care throughout a work stoppage, adding its nurses are among the highest compensated in the market.
The strike planned for one day. Carmelo Anthony serving 35 years for killing a fellow high school athlete in Texas last year, now asking for a new trial. The 19-year-old's new legal team claiming misconduct on the part of prosecutors and the judge.
After Carmelo Anthony was convicted of stabbing a student from a rival school at a track meet, Judge John Roach Jr. was interviewed by Dallas ABC affiliate WFAA. Asked whether the jury got it right, Roach said it did.
That's the process, and whatever they say, they get it right.
Carmelo Anthony's attorneys say the comment calls Roach's impartiality into question.
ABC's Jim Ryan, Michelle Franzen, ABC News.
A person of interest has been identified in 2 homicides this morning. More on that, but first, KIRO Newsradio real-time traffic. Traffic is building right now, northbound I-5 Federal Way into Seattle. It'll take you about 40 minutes. Otherwise, southbound I-405, or rather, I-405 from Linwood to Bellevue is about 30 minutes, while westbound State Route 520 into Seattle is moving pretty steady. It's about 20 minutes right now. This traffic report is brought to you by KIRO News Radio.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning. I'm Katrina Gashard. A search is underway right now for a man wanted in connection with 2 deadly shootings. The Pierce County Sheriff's Office says the shootings happened at different crime scenes early this morning. In Puyallup, deputies were called just before 3 o'clock to a home on Woodland Avenue East.
Sheriff's Office, anybody inside, make yourself known. What's your job?
They found a 35-year-old man dead inside. Then just after 3 a.m., Tacoma police were called to the 6900 block of East D Street. They found an adult man suffering from gunshot wounds. He died at the scenes. Authorities say they're looking for 24-year-old Hayes McLeod. He may be driving a silver Toyota 4Runner. Anyone who sees McLeod or the vehicle is urged not to approach him and to call 911. We have his photo up now on mynorthwest.com. A 14-year-old boy is dead after what police say was a tragic electric bike accident in Seattle. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey reports investigators say the teen lost control while riding down a steep staircase.
The 14-year-old was attempting to ride an e-bike down a steep staircase at Colonnade Park, a popular mountain bike course underneath I-5. Police say the teenager lost control and suffered severe injuries to his head and body and died at the scene. E-bikes are no longer considered a bike, but actually a motorcycle in our state if it's more powerful than 750 watts and can propel a rider more than 28 miles per hour. Just this year, a child on an e-bike was left in critical condition in Kirkland after colliding with a car, and now, tragically, in Seattle, a young teenager has lost his life. Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
Washington Senate Republicans are formally asking Governor Bob Ferguson to call a special legislative session to lower gas prices across the entire state. If they get a special session, state Republicans will have to convince a majority of Democrats to temporarily pause the state gas tax. Republican Senator Jeff Wilson says this.
These are really tough times for just about everybody in the state of Washington when it comes to providing for their families and just getting around with their day-to-day lives.
The state's gas tax adds around 60 cents per gallon as part of the state's Climate Commitment Act to reduce carbon emissions. However, the push by state Republicans may be an uphill battle as oil prices rose in the wake of President Trump declaring the U.S.-Iran ceasefire is now over. And according to AAA, the average price in our state for a gallon of gas is $5. Now to your KIRO News Radio weather. Cooler temperatures today. Highs will be in the low 70s. Right now, it's about 62 in downtown Seattle. I'm Katrina Gashard, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show with G. Scott and Ursula Reutin.
Hey, good morning, everybody. It is the Gee and Ursula Show. Grateful that you're hanging out with us today. Good morning, Ursula.
Good morning. As always, we want to make sure you are a part of our show, and the Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line helps you communicate with us. It's 888-973-5476, 888-973 KIRO. Coming up at 10:30. Airport divorce? Is there really such a thing? And could it actually save your relationship? We'll talk about that. And again, make sure that you join us on the Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line, 888-973-5476, 888-973 KIRO.
What's new at 10?
Washington seniors may soon have a new graduation requirement. It is our top story today, but this one is aimed at real-world survival. State Superintendent Chris Rakedahl is proposing a year-long class on practical life skills like resumes and job applications, financial aid, debt, voting, et cetera, and he joins us now on the Gee and Ursula Show. Good morning, Chris.
Hey, good morning.
Thank you. It's been too long since we've had you on the show, so appreciate you joining us this morning. So let's get right into it. What gap are you trying to fill, and why make this mandatory?
Yeah, thanks for the setup here and the conversation you all had earlier. It's a nice intro to this. Here's the gap that we're trying to fill. We've got 85,000 kids or so who graduate every year, and we know about 60% go straight to college. Less than 2% or so go to the military. A third of them don't really take any of those choices. Maybe they work, maybe they take some time off. All of them, though, run into a whole different world than the comfort of school immediately afterwards. They're asked to fill out applications. They're asked to fill out agreements of debt, whether it's a car, whether it's their first rental, whether it's going to school on a home loan, credit card debt. There's a ton of things that students are exposed to that we just think we can finally help with, because we have a system now, this high school and beyond plan, that challenges students to think about their career, explore their career, think about their post-secondary options. And we have 3 E's we talk about here all the time, which is after high school, we want you employed, we want you enrolled in a post-secondary training program or college or university, or we want you enlisted. So we have the ability and the expectation to help students launch in a more formal way. And pairing our current half credit of civics with a half a credit of the financial literacy and all of these transition needs for one solid full year course that integrates that stuff would be an enormous amount of high touch support for kids that they've never had in our state.
What was the moment? What happened when you or all the people that work with you that decided, okay, this gap is getting crazy. The 3 E's aren't being covered enough. Did you see a stat?
did you see a number that made you finally come up with this proposal?
Yeah, thanks, Gee. Not a single moment. So what we did when we first got here is we said there's no civics requirement in the state. That's ridiculous. So we worked with the legislature. We got a civics requirement as a graduation requirement. That took years before it was required because it usually takes 4 years. You want to tell incoming freshmen they have this expectation. So that's only been in place for a little while. Then we hear combined the lack of participation rate that's been happening for a while in post-secondary. And kids tell us consistently, I'm terrified of debt. I won't qualify for aid. My family doesn't have the money, though, for $100,000 in tuition and living expenses for a 4-year degree. And I don't know what to do. And so a lot of them just choose work as a default. And that isn't necessarily what they want. They tell us they want more. So when we thought about the fact that we have this civics course now in place that can teach them contemporary issues in a complex world, pair that with their need for financial literacy and increase voter registration, participation rates in college, get them more focused on what it means to go to the military or to go to a university. These things all came together, and what finally tipped us over in the ability to do this is we have an infrastructure now. We got the legislature to invest in what we call the High School and Beyond Plan. It's a digital tool, one of the only states in the country where every student beginning in late elementary school will explore careers and interests, and they're building a portfolio in that, and they're really putting together all the components of their resume, but it was 295 districts doing it 295 different ways. And now we have an infrastructure that will be statewide this fall. So all of these pieces have been coming together, and now we can be a leading state on this transition course.
So why, this is a question from Mindy, why would it take so many years to implement this new program? Why not take effect until 2030?
Yeah, it's a great question. Historically, we have not put a new graduation requirement in place until we can tell the families of incoming ninth graders, this is going to be expected of you. I think this can go faster because we're prescribing it and we're recommending it be a senior year course. And so you don't have the typical timeline you have to wait where some students might want to take a course as a ninth grader or a 10th grader and they need time. So I think it could go faster. We are initially launching with the traditional mechanism of make it a requirement 4 years after the new incoming ninth graders come in. But I think we could speed this up. But there is a little bit of work to do to build some model curriculum. Local districts will still pick what they choose, but we do want to have tools in place for them to grab it right away.
You said you were listening. By the way, you guys are listening to the voice of Chris Rakedow, who is the superintendent of public instruction here, Washington Public Instruction here in the state of Washington. You said you were listening earlier, and I don't know if you heard what I said. First, I love this idea, okay? I want to say that. However, I'm skeptical. I'm skeptical that I don't believe that lawmakers will pass something like this. My skepticism is there because, in my opinion, it's not that it was a oopsie that this has been left off to teach our children. It has been by design to not teach our children. Can you speak to my skepticism on why I don't think this will pass?
I like healthy skepticism. It's part of the process here. So a couple of things that give me some hope. I agree with you that there's a predatory lending element of the finance industry that has been hammering young people for a long time. They rope them into 20% interest. They give them discounts on their front end. They give them cash in the card. We're now seeing with the gaming apps. We're seeing it with all of that. So there's definitely a part of the industry that doesn't want students to know a whole lot about how to manage their finances. There is another part, though, that has been a leader in this state in helping to build the financial education public-private partnership in our state. The banking and the credit union side of this has really wanted students to understand in a healthy way the value of investing and the value of saving and what that means, getting them banked, as they say, and also the risk of some of the predatory stuff. So it isn't a single industry with a single monolithic mindset. They're different. And obviously, we're going to lean into the one that wants to have some hope and opportunity here. So I think the bigger risk, G, will be people who say, well, we can't do this because we can't add more to the plate. Well, we're not adding a 24th and a half credit. There's 24 credits required. We are grabbing a half a credit of elective from kids. A lot of them would already choose this in districts that offer it. So I think it'll come a little bit more of the resistance, a little bit from inside the system who says this is another change and we're already under duress, but we have to push through. I don't think the big challenge will come from industry this time. This
is State School Superintendent Chris Rakedow on the Gee and Ursula Show. Now, My question for you is, why include military service as part of the course? How do you make sure that it's presented as an option and not a recruiting tool?
Yeah, and I heard you mention that earlier, Ursula, and I appreciate that. It's always been an option, but I'll be very candid with you, and I know this will inflame some progressive listeners in the Seattle area. We don't hesitate when colleges and universities want to set up their banners all over our high schools and bring 60, 70% of kids in the Puget Sound to colleges and universities, which is great. We want them to. There are places that resist military recruiters, but it is a place where you get training and learning and you serve your country. In the West Coast in particular, in our state, we are underrepresented in our contribution to a national defense in this regard. I don't want to push it on kids. I want it to be a clearer option for them. And this started a couple years ago when we created the ASVAB as a high school grad pathway. Students could take the military readiness exam to prove basic math and reading skills. We've been doing that for years, and we've increased enlistment a little bit, which is great. But I just want all the options available to kids, all of the options available to them.
Okay, I'm going to ask one final question. I'm just trying to think of any sort of pushback that you might have. And one that we always hear whenever we talk about any kind of proposal is, when it comes to schooling, is critics will say parents should be teaching this at home. How do you respond to that?
Yeah, we get that with every subject. So number one, this is always a partnership with parents, right? This is always a partnership with parents. And so we want this taught at school and at home. And we've got these learning standards that start as 5-year-olds. And of course, it's age appropriate by then. We're teaching them to count and they're learning money as first and second graders. But there's always a need for the formal side of this, teachers trained in this stuff that can complement what happens in home. And we all know that there's some families under such duress that it isn't happening, or perhaps they have the wrong information. They're teaching the opposite of maybe good practices. So it's complementary, but gosh, if that was the logic, then we wouldn't teach math. That should be done at home, and we shouldn't teach reading. That should be done at home. But we have half our kids who come to kindergarten who are not at 5-year-old reading levels. It's just a reality. It's not judgment. It's just a reality. So it's complementary. I always ask myself, where could we add value with high leverage, with not a lot of additional cost, if any, that would really help students in an unprecedented way. And this launch course is that. Registering to vote, getting access to financial aid, filling out all the forms you need for post-secondary or apprenticeship or military, with a educator walking alongside you all year, your senior year, to help you. Unprecedented and game-changing.
Okay, we have 2 more listener comments or questions. Crystal and Tacoma, there's only so much time in a day and a year. What curriculum will you be removing? And then Mike and Kent says grabbing a half credit from electives messes up many kids who plan to be competitive for college.
Yeah, the senior year is the most open credit system. At this point, you pretty much only have the civics course that's in there right now and a 4th credit of English. And then everyone, based on what they're doing, picks up other things. If you're going to a university, you need that 4th credit of math, probably need that extra world language. So students are already optimizing their senior year, and they're picking in some districts courses like this. So there are 48 semesters in most schools offered to kids from 9th grade to 12th grade. And we're talking about grabbing one of those 48 semesters out of the elective side, pairing it with civics and making it a requirement. So I do understand the concern. That's when I said, like, where do we get the highest leverage in making really tough choices to leave students with options versus the things we could offer that open up doors and add an enormous ton of value. But it's a legitimate criticism. It's one semester we're taking way out of the elective side out of 48 semesters here.
I got to tell you, we've talked to you about a lot of topics. This is absolutely my favorite topic to discuss with you. And there's so many layered reasons, but I won't go too deep. But I do want to talk about, because in this course, it covers, and we'll talk about loans and credit card debt, which we all know how predatory that can be. I can tell stories and write book reports on that one. But in this course on loans and credit card debt, how far, if you can share with this, how far would this go with the curriculum? Would it just be awareness, hey, this is what to look for? Or will they really dig in with the hands-on, how to, what to, that kind of deal?
It'll be up to the locals to kind of decide some of this. So we have learning standards already for this work. The amount of time they spend on a subject or topic would be a little bit local control here, because we are pairing this with a half credit of civics. So now you have a year-long course that's integrating kind of contemporary world problems, what students face in the world, along with financial literacy, and there's a hands-on component here, right? They do need to have a resume when they're done with this. They need to fill out financial aid or formally opt out of it. It now becomes an opt-out expectation, if that's what they want. They do have to, register to vote or formally opt out. We're flipping the script so that students have high expectations of what it means to be successful in their next step, and then they have to tell us if they don't want to do something. But the depth of it will really depend on how they structure that balance between civics and financial literacy. I think most of these topics you can go into quite a bit of depth over a year-long course, but it won't cover everything, but mostly what they will face in that first 5 to 10 years of post-high school life.
Now, back in the day, some folks used to take home economics and all those different classes. I remember when my sister was in high school, she was 8 years ahead of me. I was excited because they had classes where they taught you how to make scrambled eggs. You know what I mean? And which now I'm looking back like, imagine that. Taught you how to make scrambled eggs, but not how to understand
balance a checkbook,
credit and all that stuff. So what will be the difference in this than those classes of yesteryear?
Well, number one, those classes of yesteryear still exist in some places, and they're very valuable. So home and family studies is a pathway some students take, and it's elective, right?
Okay.
So that's one of the differences. It's elective, and there are parts of it. I did that. I learned how to sew. I still do the sewing in my family because I learned that in 7th grade.
You could sew, Chris?
I learned to bake and cook and all of those good things. I wish every student would take this in middle school, but that's not.
That's so endearing of you, that the fact that you can sew.
It's my 31st anniversary today too, so I have to make sure my wife remembers I'm the sewer. Yeah.
Happy anniversary. All right, keep going.
Thank you. So what's different is obviously we're laying out expectations in this thing. Districts are going to choose the curriculum, but the learning standards are set by OSPI, and that's true of lots of stuff. We tell you what's in a geometry class, but teachers get to go into the depths on that. So we also get to say what it isn't, and it's not home and family studies per se, although even in those courses, there are elements of financial literacy. This is a pretty hardcore focus on financial literacy and next steps. That's why we call it the launch course. What do students need to do in that first year, 2 years, 5 years out of school? It's going to focus a lot on that debt side and on getting banking. Nice. And what does it mean to take on a school loan or a home loan or that first rent? It really is more focused on that because we have standards already on stuff that builds up to that in school. So this is pretty tailored. It speaks a lot to what students need to do in the next step, and challenges them to take very seriously that they need to be in one of the 3 E's, right? They're in education a year later, they're employed a year later, or they're enlisted a year later. And what are you going to do to be successful in that? And we think that's common for all students, whether you're going to Harvard, the UW, you're going to the Marines, or you're going to go work in the service industry. You really do need to understand some of the implications of those decisions that are going to come at you fast and heavy, with predatory folks on one side of this thing pushing you into the credit markets without a lot of information.
The state school superintendent, Chris Reutin, I got to tell you, just in the times that we've had you on the show, this is one topic where we're seeing the vast majority of people agreeing with you and agreeing on this idea. And in fact, one of the questions is, why wait till senior year? Could you see this being something that is offered earlier?
So a couple things. Yes, you can take courses, elective courses, to build up to this earlier. The reason we're talking senior year, and again, this could get changed in legislature, is it's the most equitable opportunity. It's that fall where you have to fill out financial aid and college application forms.
Yeah.
And if you take it your sophomore year, you're missing all that support at the time, or you take it the second semester only of your senior year, all those deadlines have passed. So it's one of the rare moments in a kid's history or their educational path where there really are these key deadlines that have to be met. And that's the idea of this. But we strongly encourage students on the elective side to be taking as much of this as they can along the way. I will also say, if you are in a large comprehensive high school, you probably have lots of choices that 9th, 10th, and 11th grade year. And if you are in a school district where you have 10 graduating seniors, they're probably all taking exactly the same courses along the way because they don't have a lot of electives to build
Good
around.
point.
So We are balancing 295 very different districts.
Hey, Chris, we only got about a minute and a half, and I got to ask, so with this whole deal, you're trying to get it to where life skills, outside of this, are there any other states in this country that require this?
Not like this. There are definitely states that are now requiring financial literacy, standalone literacy. We're definitely talking about something a little different here, which is also the expectation for applications and resumes, and getting yourself prepared for the next step. So, and we're pairing it with civics, which, as you know, will also be a lot of contemporary world problems. I want seniors to walk out if they're going to register to vote and know what the heck's happening in the world at the time. So it's a little different. We think we'd be the only one in the country, but there are elements of it that are already in place in other states.
I tell you, Chris, we've interviewed you a lot of times. I ain't never seen the text line love you like this. You know what it was? You said you can sew. That's why they love you today,
And it's your
Chris.
anniversary.
And it's your anniversary. Happy anniversary.
I didn't say the buttons stay on very long, but I know how to sew.
Hey, you know what? My buttons don't stay on, but they don't have nothing to do with sewing. And my belly get in the way. Hey, thanks, Chris. Appreciate you, good brother. Good to see you. Happy anniversary to you.
Hey, thank you very much. Appreciate you all.
All right. Hey, Ursula, the folks love.
Seriously.
They love Chris.
I mean,
right now
do you know how they always start I rarely agree with you, G?
Yeah.
Now they're saying, I rarely agree with Chris Rakedahl, but this one.
They say that to Chris. They say that about me. They don't never say that about Ursula. Never. They never text me and say,
few.
I rarely agree with
Jim
Ursula.
today. Jim's on my case today.
Oh, yeah, that military comment.
Yes.
Hey, coming up next here on the show, it's going to be 10:30, and an airport divorce is becoming a thing. I wonder if my wife listening to this. We'll do that next. Gee Ursula.
KIRO News Radio, where you turn for the news you depend on.
A political shakeup for Democrats that represent Seattle.
Traffic.
Right now, Auburn to Renton at 25 minutes. That's a good 10-minute delay.
Conversation.
3 people on the floor can't cover 20 aisles of plexiglass. They're doing their best. It just doesn't work.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
And the party begins.
Broadcasting live from the KIRO News Radio YouTube channel. KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
Hey, it's G. Scott. Let's talk here for a sec. Y'all know summer is supposed to be about sunshine and kids having fun. Well, we've been getting a little bit of sunshine lately. But anyway, when the kids are home all day, that grocery bill, it grows fast. That's why I want you to know about Sunbucks and why our friends at Safeway are helping get the word out. If your family qualifies, you could receive $120 per child to spend on groceries this summer. Food in your cart and a little less pressure on your budget. There's no catch. No judgment. This program is simply about making sure kids have enough to eat when school is out. Here's the important part. Many families are enrolled automatically, and the card, it can be already on its way to your mailbox, but some families do need to apply depending on income and where you live. So take a couple of minutes and check. Visit freesummermeals.org. That's freesummermeals.org. Safeway, looking out for families this summer.
Patrick was way behind on his IRS taxes.
I was in way over my head. The total amount ended up being somewhere just over $30,000. $30,000.
Then the IRS came to collect.
Started getting letter after letter. A lien had been filed against me. They were going to basically hang me completely out to dry.
He had to do something.
That's when I reached out to Optima Tax Relief.
Patrick's life quickly got a lot easier.
It was very easy, pretty much hands off. They picked up the ball and ran with it.
And how'd it go?
I couldn't believe it. I had to ask 2 or 3 times. I saved an incredible amount of money.
How does Patrick feel about Optima?
Couldn't be happier. They definitely helped me. Optima Tax Relief, the best place to call. They're the best in the business.
Do what Patrick did and call Optima Tax Relief for a free consultation. Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Point. Hey, you okay? You don't normally miss those shots.
I just haven't been as regular lately, and it's making me feel sluggish.
You should try Metamucil. It's been a game changer for me. Metamucil's plant-based psyllium fiber helps trap and remove the waste that weighs you down. Ace, you're moving better than you were last week.
Definitely.
Metamucil keeps you moving. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Learn more at Metamucil.com.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You need someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now you can meet them fast on ZipRecruiter.
Build your team, build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
Life doesn't have to slow you down just because costs are up. At Subaru of Puyallup, fuel-efficient models help you go farther with the confidence of all-wheel drive. And you have to experience the newly redesigned Subaru Outback with bold styling, advanced safety, an upgraded touchscreen, and even more capability. For stress-free pricing, a huge selection, and current offers, stop by Subaru of Puyallup, your stress-free dealership. Part of the Harnish Auto family. Visit SubaruofPuyallup.com.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-330-8323 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-330-8323. That's 800-330-8323. What do you have to lose? Call 800-330-8323. Again, 800-330-8323.
As a fitness coach, my active psoriatic arthritis can slow me down. With Skyrizi, risankizumab Riza, I'm treating my skin and joint symptoms so I can keep moving. Skyrizi, a prescription-only injection for adults, helps me move with less joint pain, stiffness, swelling, and fatigue. And for those who have plaque psoriasis, 90% clearer skin is possible. With Skyrizi, there's no daily dosing. It's just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing like clearer skin and better movement. And that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi. Visit Skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKY-RIZI to learn more.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it today at carsforkids.org. Your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call 1-877-CARS4KIDS to donate your car today. That's Cars with a K.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning. I'm Katrina Gauchard. A federal appeals court says it will not set aside a lower court order keeping President Trump's name off the Kennedy Center. ABC's Stephen Portnoy has the latest.
The appeals court panel says the Kennedy Center's leadership has failed to show how the center's being harmed by a lower court order directing that Trump's name be removed from the facade. The 3-judge panel also shrugged off the administration's suggestion that not calling it the Trump Kennedy Center will negatively affect its fundraising. The judges say the president and his handpicked board have, quote, failed to support this assertion with any specific facts or evidence.
Police in Tacoma and Pierce County are searching for a man accused of killing 2 people at different crime scenes this morning. In Puyallup, deputies were called just before 3 o'clock to a home on Woodland Avenue East.
Sheriff's office! Anybody inside, make yourself known! What's your job?
They found a 35-year-old man dead inside. Then, just less than an hour later, Tacoma police were called to the 6900 block of East D Street. They found an adult man suffering from gunshot wounds. He later died. Authorities say they're looking for 24-year-old Hayes McLeod. He may be driving a silver Toyota 4Runner. Anyone who sees him or the vehicle is urged not to approach and to call 911. We have his photo up now on mynorthwest.com. A 58-year-old man is in the Skagit County Jail after police say he struck and killed a 19-year-old woman while driving under the influence on the 4th of July. The family says Anaya Mendoza was selling fireworks before she was struck.
Mendoza's mother describing her daughter as an amazing young woman and that her family will never be the same. In a Facebook post, Cedro Woolley police say the suspect was caught and he has a multi-state criminal history, including 17 felony convictions here in Washington. The suspect was booked into jail for vehicular homicide, DUI, and driving with a suspended license. He remains in jail with bail set at $750,000.
That was KIRO 7 TV's Nia Bliss reporting. Firefighters are gaining ground on the Chelan Hills fire in Douglas County. KIRO 7 TV's Jack Bilyeu spoke with Dee Dee Weymouth, a spokesperson for the Southeast Washington Interagency Incident Management Team.
Right now we have about 240 people on this job. We're up to just over 300 at one point, too. So that's been a blessing to have that many people out there fighting this fire and working behind the scenes.
And what does the work look like today? Is there a specific area you guys are focused on?
We're up in the North Division in Delta and Mike, and we are going to be mopping up, patrolling, trying to get those black lines around this fire.
As of last night, the wildfire is now 50% contained. For your KIRO News Radio real-time traffic, this traffic report is brought to you by Subaru of Puyallup. If you're heading south from Alderwood to South Center, expect about 28 minutes on 405 or 27 if you're taking I-5. Bellevue to Bothell is about 9 minutes, while Bellevue to Federal Way is running about 23 minutes right now. The drive from Bellevue to Everett, about 25 minutes. Subaru of Puyallup has been dependable, fuel-efficient all-wheel drive models, including the redesigned Subaru Outback. Find stress-free pricing and offers at SubaruofPuyallup.com. Subaru of Puyallup, your fresh tree dealership. For your weather, it's cooler today. Temperatures will be in the low 70s. Right now, it's 62 in downtown Seattle. I'm Katrina Gashard, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Welcome back to the Gee and Ursula Show. We do scenarios coming up in about 15 minutes. But right now, let's talk about this one. Could a divorce actually help your relationship? Have you ever heard of the term airport divorce? It is a term coined by British journalist Hugh Oliver, and this is basically a term to describe those who have very different styles when it comes to traveling. Are you and Lillian on the same page, G?
Yes.
You are on the same page.
Yeah.
Okay, so because yesterday when we were talking about how would you rather be on an aisle seat or a window seat, given different circumstances, or what happens if you have someone who travels very differently from you? So what are some of the things that you would say that you have in common with Lillian when it comes to traveling?
Well, we like food. We like relaxing accommodations. Let's see, what else do we like? We listen to the same type of music, and especially when it comes to the airport, we like to go and see the same things. The only thing that's a little different where there could be the airport divorce is I'm not really that much of a fan of sitting out in the sun. You know what I mean? So that's where she loves to sit and lay in the sun. Your dog don't really love to sit and lay in the sun.
Sure. Okay. Well, now when we're talking specifically about the airport divorce is intentionally parting ways after passing through security and then reuniting at the gate or even on the plane. And this journalist describes it as the secret in some cases to a happy relationship. And the reason behind it is that since airports of travel can bring a lot of tension and stress, if you consciously separate, you can avoid that friction and you can allow each person to have their own control over the airport experience. So this last time we went on a trip, Mark actually, I was shocked. Because that we always fly in coach. Mm-hmm. And because we had this long international trip, we were talking about, hey, what if, because there were some extra seats on the plane, what if we buy an upgrade and then we can take turns on this 14-hour trip and take turns being in the next one up. We were still not in business class or first class, but it was premium economy for an additional close to $600. It was $550. And we did it. I was shocked. And I told Mark, you can have the first part of the trip, and I'll have the second part. Well, unbeknownst to me, I did not realize that they just moved him from my row up to, his row, where now he is sitting next to somebody else, and now I have the entire row.
Oh, okay.
So at that point, I'm like, I don't think I need to change. I think I'm good. I think I'll just stay back here, way back in the economy.
Right. Well, the only thing, Ursula, about this article, I read through it. And so, they're saying when you get on the other side of TSA, you kind of go your separate ways into the airport and go do different things. Maybe you want to eat different places, different restaurants and all that thing. There's really not, in the airport, there's really, unless you go to the lounges, you can go there. Or you go to some of the bar or the different McDonald's, the fast foods and different food places that they have inside of there. I would just think that inside of SEA, SeaTac, it's really, when you get on the other side of security, I think the only stress really is which one of you all like to get there on time and which one of you guys like to get there barely making it. That's the only stress that I have, and I don't have that problem with Lillian, so we're fine. So when we get on the other side of TSA, we good.
Well, who picks where you guys are going to eat, or do you eat separately? Like Mark and I will always eat separately. I usually want something different from what he wants.
Oh,
so
really?
we'll eat separately. I like to browse around the shops if I have a little extra time. So I maybe will, especially if we're talking about a duty-free shop, I'm in there.
No.
And then Mark will I'll just wait at the gate and I'll wait for you to be done with your shopping.
I got to say, not just the airport. Oh, wait. I was getting ready to say, just in general, have we ever eaten like separate things? We do that from time to time because, as you know, sometimes I got this on Sundays. I love Jimmy John's.
Yes.
And so sometimes, there's been times where I get my Jimmy John's and she goes and gets Korean food. So that's happened.
Yes.
But inside the airport, no, we usually eat the same thing.
We don't. According to a British Airways survey, 54% of the people surveyed admitted that their personality changes at the airport.
Huh? Wow.
The only thing about my personality changing is, we've talked about it before. You and I have said one of the best days of vacation
is on the other side of TSA.
On the other side of TSA, when you're just anticipating all those days that you're going to have off.
Yeah.
What does not help is if you pick the wrong security line and you don't have, the spot saver and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And you pick the wrong line based on what your partner says. But Mark is someone who always makes traveling so much easier. He's the one he'll handle all the passports. He'll handle the tickets. He'll ask, do you want me to carry the, baggage claim ticket? So I appreciate that.
Yeah. Which one are you, Paul?
I try my best to get there early. It was funny, actually, coming back from Japan. We had a brief thing where we missed the train and we had to take a cab and we were kind of panicking. My wife can kind of panic a little faster, so I keep it cool. I got the tickets. I got everything. I travel about 4 times more than her, but she definitely would like to get there a lot earlier. Me, if I'm there about an hour, 15 before, I'm good. Enough time to sneak into a lounge real quick and then get it on the airplane. But I would definitely like to take a lap around the airport. I don't like to go sit at the gate. She likes to go sit at the gate,
be ready
to go. Like, I'm right there. I need to get my laps in. I need to get my steps in. I need to make sure I'm ready to go before I get on the plane.
Good stuff. All right. Coming up next, it's time to judge other people's lives. We'll do scenarios next. Gee Ursula.
KIRO News Radio, where you hear the John Curley Show, afternoons 2 to 7.
So the places that you want to be throughout the entire year. You want to be in Vermont for the fall. You want to be in Washington, D.C. for the cherry blossoms. And then you want to be in Seattle for about 6 weeks to enjoy a summer that you will tell everyone is the most beautiful place in the world to be. For the World Cup happening right here, it's perfect.
The John Curley Show. Subscribe to KIRO News Radio on YouTube and watch live or later.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-292-4541 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-292-4541. That's 800-292-4541. What do you have to lose? Call 800-292-4541. Again, 800-292-4541.
You reach a time in your life when you're going to need help. My husband was a big help to me, but then after he died, I didn't have that help. But living here, Aegis is just wonderful. If anything happened to me, they would be right there taking care of me. I feel very safe, very secure, and I'm very happy here.
Voted Best of Western Washington for assisted living and memory care, Aegis Living is the trusted expert in senior living. Visit aegisliving.com/KIRO and see for yourself.
I like it hot.
Beg your pardon?
Can you make it hot for me, Dan?
I think so.
Half heated ain't hot enough.
No.
That's why I called you.
Apollo Plumbing.
Yeah, my sorry old water heater.
Oh.
Ain't getting me the hots anymore.
You want hot water.
That's what I said.
That's what we do at Apollo Plumbing.
And you're ready?
Right now.
When can you?
How about today?
Same day?
We'll have you in hot water tonight.
Clever. How about an upgrade?
A tankless water heater would mean endless hot water.
Now you're cooking.
That's just for starters.
Starters?
How about we make it a worry-free water heater?
Worry-free?
Wrenchie's worry-free warranty.
Which covers?
Repairs, service, all included.
And when it wears out?
Apollo replaces it.
No extra charge?
Nothing.
Nil?
Nada. As an Apollo A-list member, you're covered.
And payments?
To fit your budget with approved credit, of course.
And I'm hot again.
Worry-free.
That's for me.
We're on our way.
Thanks for making it hot.
We're ApolloPlumbing.com.
Wow, Sarah, these window coverings are gorgeous. Did you guys do this yourself?
No way, it's all Hunter Douglas. My local expert came to our home, brought samples, and helped us see everything in our actual light, then measured perfectly and handled the installation.
If you're planning a remodel, moving into a new home, or simply ready to elevate how your space feels, Westco Blinds, your neighborhood Hunter Douglas expert, offers custom, beautifully crafted window treatments thoughtfully designed for life. Whether it's blinds, shades, shutters, or drapes, our products fit your windows perfectly. And with smart home options, you control the light and privacy with a tap or on schedule. Hunter Douglas window treatments are an investment in quality, backed by a lifetime limited warranty and ongoing support from your trusted local expert, Westco Blinds. Call now to schedule your free in-home design consultation. Call 206-285-5455, 206-285-5455, 206-285-5455.
Your VA loan and reverse mortgage experts for 34 years. Best Mortgage is proud to be the longest-running mortgage company on KIRO Radio. Get a no-pressure consultation from a real person, never an AI bot. Web search Best Mortgage for honest advice you can trust.
At Guardian Roofing Gutters and Insulation, we know that keeping your home watertight and dry is essential to your family's safety and comfort. Having well-functioning gutters prevents water damage to your home and prolongs the life of your roof. Whether you need a cleaning or a complete gutter install, we do it all. Call today and get $250 off a gutter installation and visit us at guardianroofing.com.
It is the Gee Ursula Show. Good morning to all of you. Right now, let's get to scenarios.
Here we go, yo. Here we go, yo. So what's the scenario?
I met a guy on Facebook. I like him. I know it's weird. I got a friend request, accepted it, and started checking out his posts. I like a lot of things about him, so I sent him a direct message, and we've been chatting it up for the last few weeks. I've never actually met this guy, but I think I'm really liking him a lot. He asked me out a few times, but I always say no. And I don't know why. Something about this whole thing just doesn't feel right. And also, I'm afraid of being hurt. But I can't stop these feelings for him. I'm afraid of going out with him. I'm afraid if I don't go out with him, he'll lose interest and I'll miss a great chance to find out if he might be the one. What should I do? Is my common sense getting in the way of my emotions? Or are my emotions too involved? And should I listen to my common sense? 888-973-5476. Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line. Ursula, you up the bat first.
I just have a hard time understanding how someone can have strong feelings for someone that they haven't actually met in person, because you're falling for someone who could be displaying themselves and portraying themselves in a way that's not the real thing. Mm-hmm. So I guess I would go with caution in terms of saying, I mean, she's afraid of being hurt, and I understand that. So how about trying to meet that person in a neutral location, in a location where you're safe in the event that this person is not who they portray themselves as, and find out. Allow yourself that possibility. I think it's hard to judge whether this could be the person or not if you've never even met them.
Yeah. Manti Te'o comes to bat, considering what happened to him in 2013.
Yes, catfishing.
And I'm going to have to push back. I think it happens often.
Oh, it does.
People fall, not necessarily catfish part, but like real situations where people will really get attached to someone that they've never physically met in person. The power of words is a real thing. And sometimes there is a connection. You might connect, you haven't met each other, you meet each other, the connection continues, so that happens. In this case, as far as your gut is telling you something, I mean, I don't want to, we've had many of these scenarios. Sometimes listen to your gut. If something is telling you not to go out with this guy, then listen to your gut. You liked him. You sent him a direct message. Every time he asks you out, you keep saying no. For some reason, you don't want to go out with him. Listen to your gut. Maybe.
But one of the things that she said was, I don't want to get hurt. I don't know enough of her past. Is she more into the chase versus the actual meeting of this person? Has she fantasized this person to the point of someone who cannot hurt her, but someone who really looks good or sounds good and gives her back the kind of feedback that she wants because they haven't had a relationship? As Joey says, just go meet for coffee and see where it goes. Don't put so much pressure on yourself. That's my point.
I think I don't know how you guys feel about your gut. But sometimes when your gut is telling you something.
Yes.
The older I get, the more, if my gut says something, man, there's somebody talking to me. I don't know if it's my guardian angel. Yes. I don't know who it is. But
understand where the gut instinct is coming from. Is it coming from you've been hurt before and he's showing signs of reasons why you should protect yourself? Or you're just not wanting to go further in the event that it could hurt you?
Yeah.
Not that he's doing anything.
Yeah, could be. Paul, what you think, man?
This one kind of sounds like the challenges of modern dating in a bit, too, where you meet somebody online, maybe Facebook apps, whatever it is. You might have to take, just like your gut might be telling you that, to stay away or something. I kind of think you got to challenge yourself too. Like you're saying, Ursula, if this is something where you're just hesitating because, I don't want to get hurt. Well, you're never going to meet someone new again then if that's the case. So I think the mutual coffee, keep it slow, keep it easy, actually meet this person in person and then see if you want to continue from there. I think that's going to be the best thing. But always good to be hesitant and keep that thing with that grain of salt there. Yes. Especially when you're meeting people from online.
Well, they say, Ursula, women's intuition is much better than men's.
I would agree.
And I agree with that.
Yeah, I would agree.
Listen to your gut.
Yeah, listen to your gut. Okay, What did Lillian's gut tell her because you guys met online initially,
Man,
right?
Her gut told her that I'm about to go meet my Prince Charming. That's what her gut told her. She pulled up the Anthem coffee, and this dude's in T-shirt and shorts.
And didn't even pay her date. Didn't even pay for her coffee. She paid.
Hey.
So,
hey, you know what, man?
Listen to your gut.
Hey, you can't make this up, man. All right, Nick, what you got, man?
Well, sometimes I do believe in love at first sight, even if you haven't approached or talked to them already aside from the DM. So if you really think you got a shot with them and have the confidence for it to go well, then by all means, take your chance. But I'm not about playing these games of back and forth with indecision, wonder if it's a good idea or not, stepping in, then thinking of walking out. You're going to drive yourself crazy in the mind if you overthink the situation. A coffee or a little meetup doesn't do any harm, so even if it's just a hunch, you might as well try it out, even if the guy shows up in shorts and a T-shirt, you know?
Okay, if there is something that's really telling you there's danger ahead, absolutely listen to your gut. If it's just, I'm trying to protect myself, open up that possibility. But don't you know also people who kind of like the chase more than the actual thing?
Yes.
She's getting all sorts of feedback. She's, without having to really invest in that relationship, she's getting some positive strokes from it.
Sometimes they call them trap photos. You know what I'm saying?
Oh. You're going into thirst traps?
Thirst traps. Thirst traps. That's the thing. Yeah, it happens. Well, we'll see what happens. But by the way, text in if you've ever fell for someone that you never met in person before. We love to hear about that story. All right, coming up next here on the Gee and Ursula Show, Nick Brown, the Attorney General, is requiring something of a few cities here in this state. Has to do with elections. We'll do that next. Gee and Ursula.
KIRO Newsradio, the first place you turn for the news you trust.
State Senator Jamie Peterson drafted one of the state's most progressive taxes to date, the income tax on millionaires.
Engaging conversation.
We pay teachers the fourth highest of any state in the country.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
The Seahawks, they're bringing it home again.
Streaming everywhere on the KIRO Newsradio app. Always here, always with you. KIRO Newsradio, 97.3 FM.
I'm Dr. Mark Shelley, a chiropractic neurologist at Sound Pain Solutions. Carrie injured her back years ago. This is her story.
My herniated disc was so significant that they did the first surgery, the laminectomy and a microdiscectomy. The first surgery failed, and I ended up with another herniated disc, which is pretty typical that herniations just move up your spine. The doctor was recommending another fusion surgery, so I researched alternative therapies. Sound Pain Solutions developed a plan that included bioelectric therapy, laser therapy, decompression, pressure wave therapy, in addition to rehab. Once we started that comprehensive approach, it went phenomenally. They honestly have given me my life back, and I'm happy to help other patients find sound pain solutions sooner.
Schedule a free consultation to learn if you qualify for our non-surgical and drug-free treatments at soundpainsolutions.com.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Gee and Ursula on KIRO Newsradio.
You're not going to be able to stop what's going to happen.
I hope he's successful.
9 to noon, streaming live on your smart speaker.
From the FIFA World Cup to competitive business environments, grand ambitions lead to game-changing achievements. At Bank of America, we're there to support businesses at every step, providing insights and expertise to help you gain an edge.
He shoots, he scores!
What would you like the power to do? Explore winning business solutions at BofA.com/gamechangers. Bank of America, official bank of the FIFA World Cup 2026.
My doctor told me my cholesterol is borderline, so I took control with Garlic Healthy Cholesterol Formula. Garlic helps maintain healthy cholesterol safely and naturally. It's odor and taste-free, and Garlic is a world leader in garlic potency. I'm taking charge of my cholesterol with Garlic Healthy Cholesterol Formula. cholesterol's natural enemy.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. The term natural references only the garlic in the product. Use as directed.
Hi, I'm Marla at Sky Nursery with a heads up that gardening in July has its challenges. Seattle summer drought can cause plants to droop in just a matter of hours, and rabbits and aphids can get a little out of hand in your garden, especially if you have any travel plans this summer. That's where an experienced Sky gardener can make a difference with down-to-earth and sustainable solutions to all manner of gardening quagmires. After all, you deserve to enjoy a beautiful, thriving summer garden without having to learn the hard way first. We can help. Head to skynursery.com.
The Black Crowes, live in the Tulalip Amphitheater, Sunday, August 30th. Tickets are on sale now. Details at TulalipCasino.com.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-330-8323 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-330-8323. That's 800-330-8323. What do you have to lose? Call 800-330-8323. Again, 800-330-8323.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio. KIRO FM and HD1. Tacoma, Seattle. Northwest News.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. Following the NATO summit in Turkey, President Trump says he believes war will not break out again with Iran, despite the president announcing that the memo of understanding was over after Iran fired on vessels in the Strait of Hormuz and the U.S. carried out retaliatory strikes. Here's ABC's Selena Wang.
When it comes to Iran, the president has been sending a lot of mixed messaging on this as well. The president had just weeks ago called the Iranian people he was negotiating with strong, rational, now calling them scum, sick people. The president saying what changed is that he got to know them.
During talks with Ukraine's leader on the sidelines, the president expressed optimism that Ukraine and Russia want to finalize a ceasefire deal. It comes as Ukraine and Russia have ramped up drone and missile strikes. In Boston today, 4,000 nurses at Brigham and Women's Hospital walking off the job and are picketing for a one-day strike. They're calling for better wages and benefits. The hospital says it's using temporary workers to provide health care. This is ABC News. In Maine, growing pressure for Democratic candidate Graham Plattner to drop out of the U.S. Senate race following new accusations of sexual assault. ABC's Jay O'Brien says it's one race that could help determine which party controls the Senate.
Under Maine law, Plattner has just 5 days to drop out to be removed from the ballot. State Democrats would then have 2 weeks to select a new candidate, but there's no exact roadmap for how that process would go. Overnight, the executive director of the Democratic Party of Maine saying Plattner's team has reached out, accusing them of trying to dictate the next steps.
Fire crews in southern Europe battling multiple wildfires, triple digits, and winds are a challenge.
Record wildfires raging across southern Europe, burning more than double the seasonal average. Parts of France topping 100 degrees again as the third heat wave of the summer is bringing devastatingly high temps across the region.
ABC's Maggie Ruley. I'm Michelle Franzen, ABC News.
State Republicans call to lower gas prices, but first, KIRO Newsradio real-time traffic. This traffic report is brought to you by Carpet Liquidators. If you're heading south from Alderwood to South Center, it's going to take you about a half an hour on 405 and 25 if you're taking I-5. Bellevue to Bothell, 9 minutes. The drive from Bellevue to Everett is about 25 minutes. And if you're heading from Bellevue to Federal Way, it'll take you about 23 minutes right now. Why pay retail? Save big with the latest carpet and hardwood flooring selection at Carpet Liquidators. 7 locations. They've got you covered at Carpet Liquidators.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning. I'm Katrina Gashard. Washington Senate Republicans are formally asking Governor Bob Ferguson to call a special legislative session to lower gas prices across the entire state. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey has the details.
If they get that special session, state Republicans will have to convince a majority of Democrats to temporarily pause the state gas tax, which adds around 60 cents per gallon as part of the state's Climate Commitment Act to reduce carbon emissions. Republican Senator Jeff Wilson.
These are really tough times for just about everybody in the state of Washington when it comes to providing for their families and just getting around with their day-to-day lives.
The move might be an uphill battle as oil prices rose in the wake of President Trump declaring the U.S.-Iran ceasefire over. Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
According to AAA, the average price of gas for a gallon is $5. A 14-year-old boy is dead after what police say was a tragic electric bike accident in Seattle. Investigators say the teen lost control while riding down a steep staircase at Collindale Park. He lost control and suffered severe injuries to his head and body and died at the scene, according to investigators. E-bikes are no longer considered a bike but actually a motorcycle in our state. If it is more powerful than 750 watts and can propel a rider more than 28 miles per hour. Just this year, a child on an e-bike was left in critical condition in Kirkland after colliding with a car. Washington's top education official wants high school seniors to graduate with more than just a diploma. State Superintendent Chris Reichdahl is proposing a mandatory year-long post-secondary launch course. Reichdahl told the Gee and Ursula Show last hour.
Pairing our current half credit of civics with a half a credit of the financial literacy and all of these transition needs for one solid full-year course that integrates that stuff would be an enormous amount of high-touch support for kids that they've never had in our state.
The proposal is now before the State Board of Education and could head to lawmakers during next year's legislative session. Seattle's World Cup festivities are over and getting high marks from law enforcement after hosting a major world-class event with no serious problems. King County Sheriff Patty Cole-Tyndall says the tournament and its crowds tested local agencies, but ultimately showcased strong planning and community cooperation.
Appreciate the community doing what they did during FIFA. We got through that major world-class event without any serious issues.
The sheriff credits residents and visitors for following instructions and celebrating peacefully. Now for your weather forecast. It's cloudy right now, but highs will be climbing into the low 70s. Right now, it's about 62 in downtown Seattle. I'm Katrina Gashard, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show with G. Scott and Ursula Reutin.
Hey, good morning, everybody. It is the Gee and Ursula Show. I hope you guys are having a fantastic day. And thank you for hanging out with us today. Good morning, Ursula.
Good morning. How is it already 11:06 right now? We're already in the third hour of the show. Coming up at 11:30, we agree to disagree. Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line 888-973-5476, 888-973 KIRO. You never know what you encounter when you go out into the newsroom and you get information like, is this, you were asking the question, is this real? Is this real?
Ursula.
Yeah.
You want to know what I was talking about?
No, yes, I do want to know.
I'll tell you. By the way, Ursula brought it up. I was asking in the newsroom if this was real because I saw a thing where the White House had announced the Freedom Fuel gas station, and they're selling gas at $3.47 a gallon.
That's cheap.
The 47 for the 47th president. The Freedom Fuel gas stations. And so I was asking in the newsroom because I was like, that's not real. I thought it was a joke.
Who owns this? Who owns the gas station? Is it just one?
The White House announced the first Freedom Fuel gas station, which it says is selling gasoline below market rate of $3.47 a gallon. In the Post on Platform X on Tuesday, the White House announced that the first Freedom Fuel location has landed in Philadelphia.
Oh.
The White House noted that the $3.47 price tag is a nod to President Trump, who in his second term serves as the 47th president of the United States.
I guarantee you there's going to be a humongous line.
On Wednesday, the company behind Freedom Fuel Network is private and owns 25 filling stations across Pennsylvania and New Jersey. The spokesperson said the Trump administration is not involved with the company and is not subsidizing the gas stations, adding that the stations can offer lower prices by reducing their profit margins.
I'm going to choose joy, and I'm going to say, hey, good for the folks who can get gas for $3.47 a gallon.
Yeah, I'm choosing joy. I didn't know. And so Spike ran in behind me and was like, yes, it's real. Now I don't know if Spike going to talk about this on his show.
I think they will. Okay, text us, Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line, 888-973-5476, 888-973 KIRO.
Top stories at 11.
On the Gee and Ursula Show.
If you were with us in the last hour, Washington's schools chief joined us on the Gee and Ursula Show and told us that students need more than credits and test scores before they graduate. Chris Rakedahl gave us more details about his proposal for a new mandatory year-long class focused on real-life skills. And he says the goal is not to add busy work. It's to make sure that every student leaves school with the basic tools they need to start adult life.
Here's the gap that we're trying to fill. We've got 85,000 kids or so who graduate every year, and we know about 60% go straight to college. Less than 2% or so go to the military. A third of them don't really take any of those choices. Maybe they work, maybe they take some time off. All of them, though, run into a whole different world than the comfort of school immediately afterwards. They're asked to fill out applications. They're asked to fill out agreements of debt, whether it's a car, whether it's their first rental, whether it's going to school on a home loan, credit card debt. There's a ton of things that students are exposed to that we just think we can finally help with, because we have a system now, this high school and beyond plan, that challenges students to think about their career, explore their career, think about their post-secondary options. And we have 3 E's we talk about here all the time, which is after high school, we want you employed, we want you enrolled in a post-secondary training program or college or university, or we want you enlisted.
And he says schools have a responsibility to help students make that jump.
We have the ability and the expectation to help students launch in a more formal way. And pairing our current half credit of civics with a half a credit of the financial literacy and all of these transition needs for one solid full year course that integrates that stuff would be an enormous amount of high touch support for kids that they've never had in our state.
So after having that conversation with Chris Rakedahl, do you change your mind from what you said at 9 o'clock? Do you think this has perhaps a better chance of getting somewhere?
Okay, well, let me first reset what I said at 9 o'clock. I said, first, I absolutely love this idea.
Yes, you did.
Okay, but I'm skeptical of it passing because, well, banks, credit cards, a lot of those predatory interest rates that have been placed upon folks, right? They wouldn't like this because the more educated that you are, the less likely you are to fall prey to those predatory interest rates. The reason why I didn't change my mind because, by the way, Chris Rakedahl he was awesome, he was amazing, and I'm glad that he's proposing this. What made me change my mind and less skeptical, and I actually now believe that lawmakers will pass it, is because of the text line. Mm-hmm. A lot of you all would text in and would say, I don't normally agree with Chris Rakedahl, but today I like what he's saying. And I'm being serious when I say this. The text line turned me around like, oh, you guys are in agreement with this. Not that I didn't think you would be, but it gave me really a positive outlook on this. And by the way, shout out to Ryan in the 360. Man, you funny. Okay, go ahead.
Tara in Mill Creek says, I rarely agree with Chris Rakedahl, but this is one proposal I can absolutely get behind. I've been saying since I was in high school in Washington in the late 90s that we should require a real-life skills class before graduation. Personal finance, taxes, budgeting, credit loans, job applications, and other practical skills are things that every student will use regardless of where they go. This feels long overdue. Bravo. Ryan in the 360 says, I don't always actually, very rarely do I agree with Chris, but I do appreciate his statement on giving students more guidance towards the military option. I feel like being from an overly nauseating progressive state, it's almost like a bad thing to even bring up the military. So it's good that it's an option and they're getting some representation. And then there was Crystal in Tacoma who had asked, will we be expecting to put another curriculum on teachers' plates, or will we be hiring new teachers for this curriculum? Now, this wouldn't go into effect if, in fact, is passed by the legislature. It wouldn't go into effect until 2030-31 school year, right? Mm-hmm. And he was trying to explain that Chris Rakedahl said the biggest pushback he thinks is going to be from this idea of we already have so much going on. We're so stretched thin already. Who's going to be in charge of doing this? So, they would have to figure out that part of it. But he said it wouldn't be taking away from it would be taking away half a credit, right, from an elective, mm-hmm. and then adding something else. So, it sounds like a fantastic idea.
It does. I also loved how he came prepared with the 3 E's. And there's some people that learn in different ways.
Oh, yeah.
I'm one of those people. I learn it for sure in different ways. Metaphors, analogies, that kind of helps in my mind. But the 3 E's he talked about, he says at least 1 year out of high school, he would like to see one of the 3 E's, right, happen for these high school graduates. 1, employment, obviously a job. 2, enrollment. That's into school, or 3, enlistment, and that's into the military. And I love that. I love the idea of having 3 E's, because what ends up happening is there is a, Ursula, there is a real hard time for adults in this country between the ages of 18 and 25.
Oh, yeah.
And a really hard time. I'll speak for myself. You're in an age where you think you know it all, right? Nobody can tell you anything, but you're really at an age where you really don't know a lot. And unfortunately, because you think you know it all, you find yourself making emotional decisions that might bury you even more. And then you find yourself in situations where I want to go to school, but I can't afford to go to school, and I don't know what to do about aid. I just love this life skills thing. It is not just directed at making scrambled eggs. It is directed at applications, resumes, and all of the things that you described. I love it.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Well, continue to text us and share your thoughts. We'll post something on our Gee and Ursula Show Facebook page. Paul, do you have access to our page? If not, we'll post it.
We'll figure it out, though.
Yeah, we'll post it later, and we'll continue the conversation there, because I think it is definitely the one topic that got a lot of people going. But let's talk about something else, elections. That gets people going too, because for the first time, 3 local governments in our state will have to get permission from the state before changing their certain election rules. Mm-hmm. The Seattle Times is reporting that Yakima County, the city of Yakima, and Pasco are now under a new state pre-clearance requirement because of past findings that their voting systems diluted the power of Latino voters. So that means changes like redrawing district lines, or reducing interpreter services, or cutting back voter materials in languages other than English would have to first be approved by State Attorney General Nick Brown. And supporters of this are saying this is about protecting voting rights after the Federal Voting Rights Act was weakened by the U.S. Supreme Court in recent rulings. But Yakima's mayor, Matt Brown, says this is just another expensive mandate from Olympia, giving more power to the state AG and adding a bunch of bureaucracy for local governments. But the state is saying that the list of governments under this rule will be updated every 2 years.
You know what a blow and go is? Do y'all know? Y'all listening at home? Do you know what a blow and go is? Maybe, and respectfully, maybe you
explain it.
You've had them in your car. A blow and go is when you have gotten that DUI, and you are required to put the blow and go in your car. So when you go to start your car up, in order to start it, you gotta blow and then suck in. So the blow and go. Well, Ursula, you know that blow and go is not free. They have to go and get it inspected, and they have to pay to keep it in there. They have to blow and go because they got caught doing something wrong with the DUI. So then they are required to have the blow and go. Pasco and all them, they are complaining about being caught and then having to, and they're saying this is costly. Well, if you wouldn't have been messing up in the first place, you wouldn't be going through this. But we got to put this on the books to make sure you continue to do the right thing. And when I say the right thing, and when Ursula tells you guys dilute, for years, for decades, they had nobody of Hispanic descent on the council, when a third of the people in those areas are Hispanic. So don't do the wrong thing, and then you won't have to have this, as you say, costly, this is bureaucracy.
Well, and then trying to do things to make it harder for these populations that are already underrepresented to actually have a vote. And the argument is always, well, these tighter voting rules are to protect election integrity. And you can say until you're blue in the face that election fraud, voter fraud is extremely rare in the state of Washington. And you can give them all the stats, but they'll keep saying, well, I remember, I heard, or, what about this? But with it being so rare, and then these rules making it so much harder for people who already face more barriers, including low-income voters, young voters, elderly voters, people of color, or in these cases, in these particular jurisdictions, Latino voters. It's like, why are we trying to make it harder for people to vote? I get it. If there was rampant election fraud, I get it. But there's not.
I wonder why they do. I wonder why they why they try to make it hard. I haven't figured that out yet. But in this case, Ursula, you don't have any problem with them, every 2 years having to make sure they're doing the right thing, do you?
No. No. Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Okay. Do you want to talk about concerts or concrete blocks? Your choice.
Now, you could already hear concerts.
I know, concerts. It's 11 o'clock.
That concrete blocks. I think we choose enjoy. Concerts.
Do you have a favorite place to watch a concert? This is a question to all of you. What is your favorite place to watch a concert? I have a feeling mine would be the Gorge Amphitheater, but I've never been.
Okay. So let me, before you tell the story, I would just say this. The Gorge, that one time out there, Sasquatch, it was the perfect time, Ursula. But everything that you got to do to go through that, the
camping or finding a place that's not so easy to find.
That's not my favorite place, but I want to just give a shout out to the Gorge.
Yeah, because it is incredibly gorgeous.
It's gorgeous. That backdrop is amazing. Right now, I'm pulling up the Climate Pledge. Climate Pledge is the best in the business right now. Just straight up.
It actually is a really great place.
It's great. It's fantastic.
Do you have a favorite concert you've ever watched at Climate Pledge?
Not at Climate Pledge, but at Key Arena. Luther Vandross.
Oh.
Wait, was he at Key Arena? No, he wasn't. He was at the Paramount. I can't remember that. But go ahead, finish.
Well, I was just thinking, my favorite concert ever was the one that I went with my friend Tracy at the Tacoma Dome, actually. And it was Elton John, but it was more the performance versus the actual venue. But the Seattle Times has put together its list of the top outdoor concert venues around Seattle. And the top three, first of all, obviously, the Gorge, Renlinger Farms, and the Dune Peninsula. Now, it's been a long time since I've been to Renlinger Farms, since I used to go every year for the pumpkin patch.
Yeah.
I have yet to go to a concert there. Have either of you gone to a concert at Remlinger Farms?
No, not yet. I've actually only been to indoor shows. I've not gotten to it. Actually, no, I went to Woodland Park Zoo show, which did also make this list. It was a little bit higher up on the list of best places to see a show is for Zoo Tune. So that's the only place I've seen an outdoor show is at the zoo. Here, at least. But I've been to Red Rocks back home, back in Denver.
Park, they do a good job with the outdoor concerts.
It's awesome.
That is an unsung hero for sure. So, Gee, you said Climate Pledge. What about outdoor concert venue? And I want to ask Nick the same thing.
I mean, other than the Gorge.
I don't have Nick,
anything.
do you have one?
Would it just locally or just anywhere?
Yeah, locally.
If you didn't mention the White River Amphitheater, that's a great spot down in Auburn. It's a very chill spot.
I was going to bring them up, and I know I'm being negative Nancy when I say this. I think the spot is amazing. I love it. But that traffic in and out of there, has it gotten better, Nick?
Not really, but you got to go into it with the mentality of, you got all day. You don't want to be like, you don't have to be on any tight schedule when you're going. You just pick a day when you got nothing going on and you can just enjoy yourself even when you're in the traffic. I just like it's like almost like a mini gorge because the parking lot's nice and full and you can hang out on the lawn if you want to. And I just like the kind of just the open range area, down in Auburn.
Nice. Okay, Emily in Kirkland says going to Remlinger Farms this Saturday for the head and the heart. Someone else said, was it be in Puyallup Fair? That is a good place to watch a concert too. I watched Train at the Puyallup Fair.
I ain't trying to be disrespectful to the Puyallup Fair, but I'm going to say this, and again, with all due respect, the Puyallup Fair is ranked way at the bottom when you consider all the places. I mean, Woodland Park Zoo, Point Ruston,
fantastic.
Chateau Ste. Michelle.
Oh,
I mean, the Puyallup Fair?
How about?
Yeah.
Well, I'm just trying to be a woman of the people. Okay. How about the waterfront? Remember when we used to have a lot of concerts at the pier?
I got to see when they brought him back last summer. It was great. It was a great experience.
Can you imagine? Just imagine like with the barge and the World Cup watching. Well, but a concert.
That'd be good. Yeah, that'd be really good. See, now good topic. Concerts put us all in a good mood. And I like to give an honorable mention to the Emerald Queen Casino and their concerts. And you want to know why I love it? For two reasons. One, there's not a bad seat in the place. Like, you could be sitting way in the back and they have it set up to where your seat is pretty good. That's one. Two, Ursula, they start them dang on things on time.
They do.
If the concert say 7:30,
yeah,
the concert starting at 7:30. No, not like the pre-show. No, the concert, and then it's done in 90 minutes. And for old folks like me, yes, Ursula, you can stand that old concert starting at 7:30 and the main act don't get out there till 10 o'clock.
Okay, when it was still Key Arena, Madonna started her concert, I swear, I think it was like 2 or 3 hours late. It was ridiculous. No, I'm okay a few minutes. Give me a 5-minute break. I'm good. Mary Moore, another one. Good one.
Shout out to Mary Moore.
Chateau Ste. Michelle, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, the winery. That's a good place.
All right, coming up next, Agree to Disagree. Gee Ursula.
This hour is brought to you by DUI Heroes.
Patrick was way behind on his IRS taxes.
I was in way over my head. The total amount ended up being somewhere just over $30,000. $30,000.
Then the IRS came to collect.
Started getting letter after letter. A lien had been filed against me. They were going to basically hang me completely out to dry.
He had to do something.
That's when I reached out to Optima Tax Relief.
Patrick's life quickly got a lot easier.
It was very easy. Pretty much hands off, They picked up the ball and ran with it.
And how'd it go?
I couldn't believe it. I had to ask 2 or 3 times. I saved an incredible amount of money.
How does Patrick feel about Optima?
Couldn't be happier. They definitely helped me. Optima Tax Relief, the best place to call. They're the best in the business.
Do what Patrick did and call Optima Tax Relief for a free consultation. Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-330-8323 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-330-8323. That's 800-330-8323. What do you have to lose? Call 800-330-8323. Again, 800-330-8323.
Looking for a simple solution to hair loss this summer? Get the same breakthrough one-day treatment I received at Advanced Hair during their once yearly summer savings event. Your own natural hair begins to regrow the very next day, and Advanced Hair guarantees it will grow. Take advantage of your flexible summer calendar and get the most hair for your dollar during their best offer of the year. For details and a free consultation, call 425-449-8185, advancedhair.com.
Les Schwab Tires has been proudly serving communities for over 70 years, and we've collected thousands of inspiring stories. Like Kate, who was off on a long road trip with her best friend when the dash lit up like a game show. They find the nearest Les Schwab. Turns out they really needed an oil change. It was done in a flash. Road trip saved. At Les Schwab, we're proud to keep you rolling. Les Schwab Tires. Our greatest story is yours. Stories are composites inspired by real customer feedback.
Hey, Jake Skorheim here. Buckle up. It's going to be a hot summer. And if you have poor or no insulation in your attic, you could be losing up to 40% of your energy efficiency. Fortunately, Valentine Roofing has you covered. This summer, bundle energy-saving attic insulation with a new roof and save 10%. Plus, with no money down on your project, you don't pay until your project is complete. Call 206 Roofing to save 10% when you bundle a new roof and attic insulation. That's 206 Roofing. And remember, when you see the red Valentine van, you know your home is in good hands.
Jason Rance here. If your water heater is getting older, leaking, or running out of hot water, CM Heating has an affordable solution. Get a new gas or electric water heater installed starting at just $44.99 a month. With CM Heating's Comfort as a Service program, you'll get lifetime repairs and maintenance at no extra charge. Parts and labor covered for life. Plus, same-day installation is available in many cases. Schedule your free estimate today at cmheating.com.
License number CMHEAHL 750LP.
Point! Hey, you okay? You don't normally miss those shots.
I just haven't been as regular lately, and it's making me feel sluggish.
You should try Metamucil. It's been a game changer for me. Metamucil's plant-based psyllium fiber helps trap and remove the waste that weighs you down. Ace, you're moving better than you were last week.
Definitely.
Metamucil keeps you moving. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Learn more at Metamucil.com.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You need someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now you can meet them fast on ZipRecruiter.
Build your team, build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
Healthcare costs are rising, and a major driver is hospital prices. They've increased more than 250% over the past 25 years. Families and local businesses are feeling it. At Primera Blue Cross, we're working to change that by negotiating with hospitals to secure fair, responsible prices so you can get the care you need at a cost you can afford. That's coverage that counts. Learn more at coveragethatcounts.primera.com.
KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning. I'm Katrina Gashard. The memorandum of understanding between Iran and the U.S. is now over, according to President Trump. ABC's Karen Travers has more.
The president also had declared today that that memo signed by the two countries is over, that the ceasefire is dead, and that he thinks that negotiating at this point with the Iranians is a, quote, waste of time. But there are still mixed messages from the president on where this goes from here, because he was also indicating that he thought his special envoy for the Mideast, Steve Witkoff, and his son-in-law, Jared Kushner, could potentially continue engaging with the Iranians, even as he was saying it's over.
A search is underway for a man wanted in connection with two deadly shootings. The Pierce County Sheriff's Office says the shootings happened at different crime scenes early this morning. Over in Puyallup, deputies were called just before 3 a.m. to a house on Woodland Avenue East.
Sheriff's Office, anybody inside, make yourself known.
What's it, Jay?
They found a 35-year-old man dead inside. Then, just after 3, Tacoma police were called to the 6900 block of East D Street. They found an adult man suffering gunshot wounds. He died at the scene. Authorities say they're looking for 24-year-old Hayes McLeod. He may be driving a silver Toyota 4Runner. Anyone who sees him or the vehicle is urged not to approach and call 911. We have his photo up on mynorthwest.com. Cash App's parent company Block will pay millions to resolve investigations by our state and others. Attorney General Nick Brown says Block will pay $20 million over its handling of fraudulent unemployment payments during the pandemic. Washington will also receive nearly $1.8 million from a separate multi-state settlement, alleging Cash App failed to adequately protect users from fraud. Block has agreed to expand customer support and improve its fraud prevention. One of Washington's biggest home sales of the year is officially on the books. The Puget Sound Business Journal reports Microsoft executive Takashimi Nomoto is the new owner of the Hunts Point's waterfront estate, sold for nearly $20 million. The home features sweeping Lake Washington views and closed below its asking price. And now for your KIRO News Radio real-time traffic. It's brought to you by Subaru of Puyallup. On I-5, the drive from Alderwood to South Center will take you about 27 minutes. That same drive on 405, about half an hour. Bellevue to Linwood, about 15. Bellevue to Everett, 25 minutes. And across the Lake Washington, Seattle to Bellevue, I-90, it's going to take you 11. Seattle Redmond, 17. And southbound from Seattle to SeaTac, it'll take you about 13 minutes. Subaru of Puyallup has dependable, fuel-efficient, all-wheel drive models, including the redesigned Subaru Outback. Find stress-free pricing and offers at SubaruPuyallup.com. Subaru of Puyallup, your stress-free dealership. For your forecast, we've got clouds today, temperatures in the low 70s. Right now, it's about 62 in downtown Seattle. I'm Katrina Gashard, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO Newsradio Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show. Gee is here, I'm here, and it is time for us to agree to disagree, brought to you by Guardian Roofing and Gutters.
One of these days, we just got to take off the gloves, just really go at it.
All right, you might have heard about this here in the newscasts and things today. Seattle, yes, fresh off of the World Cup and being on the world stage for sports. Well, now it's going to be the backdrop for one of reality TV's biggest social experiments here.
I'm moments away from meeting my husband.
We're heading to the altar. Season 20 of Peacock's Married at First Sight features 11 Seattle singles. 7 couples will begin their search for lasting love after saying "I do" to complete strangers. The season premieres this Sunday on July 12th. Ursula, now I'm curious what you think of the concept of the show, but I'm more curious, would you ever sign up for a reality show?
First, I'll start with would I ever sign up for a reality show? I have joked about it, and our family has joked about it because we think our family's kooky. We all have. My personality is probably the smallest of all personalities amongst my family. And just this past weekend, I told you about my niece renting a van and all of us piling into a van and going around Portland and just having a good time. When we get together, it's pretty hilarious. And I think it would make a great reality show. But in reality, I would never do it. I would never do it because you don't have control over what they're going to show. And more often than not, even though it sounds like a great thing and that you could get some kind of fame, more often than not, it has just ruined relationships. It has, whether it's Real Housewives, which I used to watch on a very regular basis, more of those Real Housewives are no longer married to their husbands. I mean, even the strongest of marriages that seemingly have broken up, and I think a lot of it is because of what went along with the reality show. So, no.
Yeah. I thought you were going to, when you said piled in the van, I thought you were going to say down in the van by the river.
We did go by a river.
Did you?
Yeah.
So did Chris Farley.
And a waterfall, I know.
I'm ready for a reality show. Let me tell you something. When I can get folks with no kids to talk about the fact that I missed my son's wedding and that be a headline, you know what I'm saying? If that's a headline for you, I got some other stuff to show you in my life to do that, right? Then I can really pull out some receipts. Oh, I get to do this for a long time, boys. So anyway, but back to the receipts. Okay, yes, I'm ready for the reality show. Would I do it? Yes. And as far as Seattle, I can't wait to watch this. It's Seattle. Who's going to be on it? I wonder if it's going to be somebody I know. All that stuff. We ready.
Yeah, I will watch it. But the premise of this show, love at first sight, where you cannot, you have to marry somebody upon first sight.
Yeah.
I think it's the dumbest idea. I think it's fraught with all sorts of problems.
I thought we was choosing joy. You want to see and hear some dumb stuff? We can talk dumb. By the way, let's be real, Ursula. Dumb sales.
That's what most people would probably call reality TV in general, right?
Now, I'm also excited because I call this, or my wife calls it, trash TV.
It is trash TV. And I love trash TV.
And so does my wife.
Yes.
So this is an opportunity for me to join in and watch trash TV.
Yes.
By the way.
And you're not invested.
Yeah.
You don't have to. What I love about it is you can bounce in and you can bounce out.
Yeah.
You don't have to know all the details from the last episode. I can come as I please and go as I please.
Yeah. And it doesn't matter if there's lies or truth being told on it. Like, because that's what I've learned. I've learned that no matter what, there's some situations, don't matter if it's lies or truth. Like, lies the same thing as the truth.
Are we living in a reality show right now?
Yes!
It certainly feels that way. All right, Gito, a quick little spin on this, because I was thinking of this about you and this. Okay, someone brings up and says, all right, we can do the reality show, or you can host your favorite game show. Whatever your favorite game show might be, would you rather take that hosting gig of a game show or have the opportunity to do the summer with the Scots, basically, or something like that?
Game show, Richard Dawson style.
Richard Dawson, even. You're going way back. You want those big, sloppy kisses.
Could y'all believe?
Remember Me Too?
Could y'all believe what Richard Dawson was doing?
No, I would. Okay, I wouldn't do a reality show, but I would absolutely do a game show. And of course, I would want Wheel of Fortune.
Yeah, okay, Wheel of Fortune.
That's my second one.
Yes.
Yeah?
That's my second one.
Yes.
I'm always a big fan of Family Feud, but it'd also be good. I feel like Price is Right and Family Feud would be my two if I could do it. But
Family Feud would be really fun.
yeah, and honestly, you can
Taking
argue
part in it.
Yeah,
That would be hilarious.
the whole situation behind it seems great. All right. It is Emmys season. They just announced the full list of Emmy nominations here. HBO Max's The Pitt has a big amount of nominations, but nobody more than Netflix's Beef, which has 16 nominations across the season. But, Gee, I'm curious, when it comes to you locking in, I know you're more of a TV guy than movies.
Yes, sir.
What carries more weight, the awards or the reviews?
Reviews.
Mm-hmm.
Reviews. Mm-hmm. Don't nobody care what that nerd has to say in their critic reviews. You know how many critic reviews that this is not a good show and ended up where the people loved it? The people tell what it is about that show. By the way, I got another suggestion for you, Ursula. It's not a TV show. This movie is called Obsession.
Oh,
and I'm things. It might. Think Fatal Attraction with Glenn Close times 10.
Ooh. Oh.
Yeah.
Sign me up.
Obsession. Think Fatal Attraction for all of us Gen X and boomers.
That would be heavy.
Times 10. Like you've never seen anything like this. All right, Ursula, what you got?
I'm with you.
Okay.
But I'm also distracted because people are kind of getting on me from the. Okay, you remember how you say no one ever disagrees with me? I got a lot of people disagreeing with me.
Are they okay?
Alan in Greenwood says half of the world has arranged marriages where two people who've never met are matched up by their parents.
And they're more
and then
successful.
Fernando also says, careful, Ursula, large part of the earth is still relying on arranged marriages. Now, yes, this is true, but I would argue that they're not doing it for a reality show. These are parents who have the best interest of their children, who also know the history of who they're arranging with their child, right? I mean, and it's also, again, culturally different.
It's financial
too. And there's a big financial aspect.
Well, so is this thing.
Yes. Yeah, but the financials for the TV show creators, not for the couple.
Yeah.
Okay, but anyway, did I answer the question?
Yeah, you answered it.
Yes.
You said you agree.
I'm with you.
I'm just thinking about this reality show. Ursula, they should put the Gee Ursula Show on a reality show.
Does that prepare you? Do you guys think doing a talk show would that kind of prepare you for something like a reality show?
I'm telling you, I got has-beens that talk about the fact that I'm living rent-free. I missed my son's wedding. Like, oh my gosh.
I can already see that being the opening.
Someone was trying to make a buck off G's story.
Like, I can't believe that he went to People magazine. No, I didn't go to People. People came to us. People, checking out the Gee Ursula Show.
Yeah, of the two of us, you would make the much more interesting reality show. And there are things that you have shared that would make some great reality material. We've shared off the air.
What if I did a reality show, Ursula, where all of a sudden where I turn, like I do everything on a reality show is the opposite of my opinions all the time. So for example, the first show is these folks need to pull themselves up by their bootstraps. That'd be the first episode. No, like you catch on that one. All right, coming up next, text messages, feedback, and then Ursula's words live by.
Are you curious about who offers the best deals on top-rated Samsung, LG, and Sony TVs? The answer is surprising. It's not online, and it's not the warehouse clubs. The best deals on top-rated TVs are at Video Only. Don't believe it? Then check out the trade-in deals at Video Only. How about $500 for your old TV? Try doing that online. Before you buy that new TV, drop into Video Only. If you don't, you'll be sorry.
DUI Heroes right now has its own YouTube channel at DUI Heroes, where you can find out about DUIs. 36 separate videos with free information about what happens during a DUI arrest. Be informed that you can fight back. Give them a call, too, 1-800-DUI-HERO, or find them online at DUIHeroes.com. DUI Heroes, your DUI defense specialist.
Holy smokes! The On Cruise Adventures Rick Riz Show.
What happened at the ballpark yesterday?
Sparky's sitting on my scorebook here, my cat is.
Friday mornings at 8:15 on Seattle's Morning News.
For over 50 years, Bucky's Complete Auto Repair has been the one locals trust for fast, friendly service with guaranteed repairs. With 16 family-owned locations and a Carfax preferred badge, Bucky's makes it easy with same-day service and available financing. Visit buckys.com.
Running a small business means juggling a lot. Your network has to handle it all. That's where a fiber-only provider falls short. You deserve a partner who gives you a greater advantage. Introducing the Total Solutions Advantage only from Comcast Business. A first-ever combination of the largest, fastest fiber-powered network, the most reliable Wi-Fi, gig speeds with equipment and security included, and a 5-year price lock. Plus, it's all backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee. The Total Solutions Advantage only from Comcast Business. A new standard for small business with reliability, security, and savings in one. When you add it all up, no one does business like Comcast Business.
Switch today. Get started for $60 a month for 12 months when you add an advanced solution to a qualifying internet package. Limited time offer. New customers only. Requires 300 megabits per second internet, security edge, and additional qualifying service. 1-year agreement, paperless billing, and auto pay with bank account required. Taxes and fees extra. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA Fixed Broadband Experience Report, May 2025.
After the mild winter we just had, forecasters are predicting above average temperatures this summer across western Washington. If your home is struggling to stay cool, your attic could be the culprit. Jake Skorheim here. Poor insulation or no insulation in your attic can account for up to 40% of the heat gain in your home over the summer. That puts a load on your air conditioner and it can leave you sweating. Fortunately, Valentine Roofing has you covered. This summer, bundle energy-saving attic insulation with a new roof and save 10%. That's better comfort, improved energy efficiency, and less strain on your cooling system. Thousands of homeowners have trusted Valentine Roofing for roofing, attic insulation, and complete home protection because every project comes with the Valentine experience. Seamless communication, meticulous cleanup, and extra mile service. Plus, with no money down on your project, you don't pay until your project is complete. Call 206 Roofing to save 10% when you bundle a new roof and attic insulation. That's 206 Roofing. And remember, when you see the red Valentine van, you know your home is in good hands.
If you're over 62 and finding it hard to keep up with the rising cost of living, this may be your solution. I'm Steve Teitler, owner of Best Mortgage. Every week I talk with seniors who love their home and want to stay, but feel financial pressure every month. Property taxes keep going up. Insurance costs more. Everyday bills add up, and for some, they still have a mortgage payment. If you're wondering how long your savings need to last, a reverse mortgage may be worth a look. It could eliminate your mortgage payment, pay off debts, and give you breathing room every month. Now, I want to make it clear it's not right for everyone, but for the right person, it can be a very smart financial tool. When you call Best Mortgage, you'll speak directly with me. I'll explain your options and tell you honestly if it makes sense for you. If you want to stay in your home with less financial stress, call me, 425-649-6000. Best Mortgage. Honest advice you can trust. 425-649-6000.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-583-6681. That's 800-583-6681.
Olympic Hot Tub's All-American Soak, Swim, and Sauna event is here. Now's the time to save thousands on a saltwater hot tub, swim spa, or sauna. With up to 3 years to pay for it, interest-free. OlympicHotTub.com. Better you, better life.
It is the Gee and Ursula Show. Ursula, would you say the text messages today on a Wednesday, they've been
spicy?
Oh, yes. Yes.
Toward me.
Yeah, apparently, today.
Well, a couple of, so I had, what would you say, 200% more? I had two people who were vehemently opposed to me saying that it was a dumb premise to marry somebody at first sight. Yeah. Apparently, I was wrong, according to them. But I did find out, I looked it up because I said, how many couples are still together from the show? And out of the 69 couples matched across the first 18 seasons of the U.S. version of Married at First Sight, only 11 couples remain together today, which is a success rate of about 16%.
So I know some of the people from Love is Blind.
Uh-huh.
And I've had some discussions there.
Yeah, uh-huh.
I mean, for the same reason that some folks grift off hate is some of the same reasons why some folks do reality shows to make some money.
Oh. Uh-huh.
Like, that's at the end of the day. Make money, platform. They can parlay that into other stuff.
I would say 95% of the reason why they do it is that.
Yeah.
It's not for educational purposes.
You think back in your single days, you had an opportunity to do this, would you have done it?
I'll go back to, I would love to host a game show. But again, I just see too many relationships ruined, and I value my family relationships. So that would, I would not want.
Wait, I just want to tell you, you were not wrong about that. No,
Yes.
you were dead right about that. And see, that's the thing about when you do things just for the money,
There's a
some
sacrifice.
relationships you can't come back from. So it's a potential that later on, years to come, you will be remembered not for the things that you did right. You'll be remembered for other things. What you got, Ursula?
So true. Okay, well, we're going to talk about some of the fun things that we brought back.
Okay.
Well, actually, this was a more serious one. Gosh, I didn't realize we had a lot of people giving us feedback on holding kids back, whether it's 8th grade to make them bigger for sports or redshirting them as kindergartners to make them a little bit older going into school. Lori says, I have an observation regarding redshirting kindergartners. Inequality. For families that don't have the means to pay for preschool and daycare, they don't have much choice but to enroll their summer birthday kids in kindergarten. As someone who works in the public school system, I have seen this socioeconomic disparity. I don't disagree.
Oh, Lori, don't be texting in with those facts right there. Stop it, Lori.
It's good to hear people in the school system.
Sue in Tacoma says, on waiting to put your kid into school, we put our August-born daughter into kindergarten as a 6-year-old rather than as soon as she turned 5. Best decision we ever made for her. As an older kid in class, she was successful all through school.
And I shared that that's what we did with Steven, and I realized that was a privileged position to be able to do that as well.
Yeah.
Because we did get a lot of help. Okay, let's talk about airport divorce. Destiny in Seattle says, I think my marriage needs a Costco divorce. Do you do Costco differently than your wife?
Nope, we be pulling up same way.
Look at you.
Yeah. Kevin in Seattle says, my wife handles everything. I'm not sure how I would even get home without her. Not proud of it, but keeping it a buck. You know, Kevin, there's areas in my life that my wife handles things. Matter of fact, she asked me this morning on the show, hey, what's your license plate number? Huh? I don't know that. Oh, do you know your license plate?
I sure do. It starts with AYT and it ends with a 5.
What?
Oh, because you have to fill it out all the time every time you stay at a hotel.
Paul, you know your license plate? Oh, you got a bike.
I'm pretty close. I do. You have to put it in for paying for parking. So I got the letters, but I don't always have all the numbers.
Nick, you know yours?
Ursula's right. You got to fill that thing out all the time. AXY3959.
See, so guess who's not filling out those forms?
I ride my bike.
Leaving it up to Lillian,
Thank
probably.
you, Lillian.
All right, Ursula, it's time for your words to live by. What you got for us?
I love this. Okay, we always talk about compassion and kindness. And this is a quote from Jack Cornfield, who says, if your compassion does not include yourself, it is incomplete. Sometimes you have to show yourself grace as well.
Gotcha.
You have to be kind to yourself.
You do. Good stuff. Nick, what do you got?
Well, what kind of traveler are you when arriving to the plane? Are you showing up last minute or way early, staying sane? Do you like to find a cozy spot and stay put at the gate, or would rather have the urge to walk the terminal while you wait? And maybe an airport divorce is perfect for that pair if you got one side who's restless while the other doesn't care. A trip to the White River Amphitheater or Gorge, though, sit tight because you probably won't have a choice but to marinate in the traffic on the way.
I love it. Just wrapped it all up.
All right. Coming up next here on the KIRO radio station, the Jake
You
and
thought
Spike
we were going to have
show.
another hour?
I did. I did. This show really went by fast. The Jake and Spike show's coming in next. But Ursula, good show today.
Yes, I'm out tomorrow.
Oh, you out tomorrow?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, my son is having a medical procedure done.
Okay.
So I'm going to be out, but I will be back on Friday.
All right. Well, let me just throw a real quick prayer to them doctors' hands.
Exactly.
Make sure they're all good. Thanks, Ursula.
Exactly.
Thanks,
Thanks.
Paul. Paul,
Happy to
are you
be
with me again tomorrow?
I believe Chef's back in town tomorrow. So.
Okay, Chef's back in town. Boys are back in town. Thanks, Nick.
You too, man.
Nick, what you got going on today, man?
I'm just relaxing the last couple of weeks of Rainier's games, so it's a nice week to just kick back and spend time at home.
Is that sun going to come out?
I hope so. Fingers crossed, man. I think it's going to get warmer as the days go on.
Well, by the way, we got a show meeting after this with our bosses, Jacob and somebody else, so that'll be coming up next. All right, we got to go. Appreciate you for listening. Love you for that, and as always, be kind.
Hope you have as much fun as we have. So long, everybody.
KIRO News Radio.
Get on the YouTube channel.
We're live all day on YouTube. Every show, every day.
Hang out with us. The whole gang's there.
And you never know what you might see.
Back up the camera. Oh, my God.
Just search KIRO News Radio, then subscribe.
Les Schwab Tires has always believed that taking care of people is the right thing to do. Today, that means more than trusted service. It means delivering real value, too. That's why we're lowering prices on hundreds of tires without changing the service and expertise you've always counted on. Consumer Reports named Les Schwab the best tire retailer for 2026. We'll keep working every day to earn your trust. See leschwab.com for details.
I like it hot.
Beg your pardon?
Can you make it hot for me, Dan?
I think so.
Half heated ain't hot enough.
No.
That's why I called you.
Apollo Plumbing.
Yeah, my sorry old water heater.
Oh.
Ain't getting me the hots anymore.
You want hot water.
That's what I said.
That's what we do at Apollo Plumbing.
And you're ready?
Right now.
When can you?
How about today?
Same day?
We'll have you in hot water tonight.
Clever. How about an upgrade?
A tankless water heater would mean endless hot water.
Now you're cooking.
That's just for starters.
Starters?
How about we make it a worry-free water heater?
Worry-free?
Wrenchie's worry-free warranty.
Which covers?
Repair, service, all included.
And when it wears out?
Apollo replaces it.
No extra charge?
Nothing.
Nil?
Nada. As an Apollo A-list member, you're covered.
And payments?
To fit your budget with approved credit, of course.
And I'm hot again.
Worry-free.
That's for me.
We're on our way.
Thanks for making it hot.
We're ApolloPlumbing.com.
Hey, I want to introduce you guys to a brand new sponsor to the show. I'm very excited to welcome Phil Mitchell from Sunset Auto Family. Welcome to the show, Phil.
Hey, thanks, Jake. Nice to be here.
It's so great to have you here. I want to jump right into something that you guys offer that is such a benefit to anybody out there looking for a vehicle. You guys have 48-hour used vehicle exchange. Tell me a little bit about how that works.
Well, basically, we want to take the fear out of buying a pre-owned vehicle. So we give you 48 hours. You take the car home, you decide if you like it. And if you like it, you keep it. If you don't, you bring it back, and we try to find you something you do like.
All right, so let's say a scenario. I see something I love. I'm worried that it's not going to be there next time, so I jump on it real fast, and then I get it home to my garage, and it doesn't fit. I can bring it back?
You can bring it back, and we'll find you something that does fit. It just takes all the fear out of it. There's no more guilty feelings. You don't have to be stuck with it for 5 years or 10 years. You bring it back, we find you something that works.
Sunset Kia in Auburn, Sunset Ford, and Sunset Chevrolet in Sumner. You just get more at Sunset, and people do like that.
It's the best time of the year at Staples, with back-to-school supplies as low as 25 cents, up to 40% off select tech and more at staples.com/back-to-school.
From the FIFA World Cup to competitive business environments, grand ambitions lead to game-changing achievements. At Bank of America, we're there to support businesses at every step, providing insights and expertise to help you gain an edge.
He shoots, he scores!
What would you like the power to do? Explore winning business solutions at BofA.com/gamechangers. Bank of America, official bank of the FIFA World Cup 2026.
My doctor told me my cholesterol is borderline, so I took control with Garlic Healthy Cholesterol Formula. Garlic helps maintain healthy cholesterol safely and naturally. It's odor and taste-free, and Garlic is a world leader in garlic potency. I'm taking charge of my cholesterol with Garlic Healthy Cholesterol Formula, cholesterol's natural enemy.